So last session, old Everett,
Oh, yeah.
I did some shit.
like I always say, if like you really want the full recap, go and listen to the previous episode. And one day soon, we'll do a full recap of the campaign thus far. But last session, into delving into the Tomb of Valark, you guys fought Maggie, which was the protector left there by the 13 keys, in order to get the Heart of the Veil, which was an artifact created by Valark. And it was one of those that once it chose a host, that was the only way to get it out. And Everett became the host. It literally ripped your other heart out and then replaced your heart with it. And you guys, with very much interesting ingenuity. Yes? No, go ahead.
I'll wait till you're done.
No, what?
Well,
I hit the pause button.
Oh, okay. Well, you said there was a bunch of other shit, and I meant to ask you for a file.
Of the Heart of the Veil?
Yeah.
It's going to come out as you adventure.
Okay, cool.
So,
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
I have
Kind of
here.
like the Codex.
Yeah, kind of like the Codex.
Okay, perfect.
Listen, you guys have a lot of interesting... Yes?
I forgot to send.
Because I can't keep track of any more shit.
I forgot to send Shawn my weapon. He didn't find it.
Right.
I got him.
Let's just hope there's nothing too crazy that pops off tonight, shall we?
Yeah.
We're going to get into a lot tonight of, like, the origins of things and the grounding of this world and a lot of the things that are going on. We're going to spill the tea on some family drama that's been going on for centuries. But the highlights of last session is that a great artifact from the Dark One was retrieved by the party, and Jophiel had to make a choice, and she chose to spare Everett kind of in that moment, which is something that'll stay with her and Elkarth forever. But yeah, Everett, you're yourself. You're changed.
I'm chilling.
And you guys returned to Duskendale. All this happening, and we also played a unrecorded session where a lot of my players got to play the antagonist, future antagonist
That was
of the
fun.
party.
That
Yep.
was
And they have a lot of stuff that they have to try and not metagame, which
yeah.
is really fun. But at the end of last session, as you guys were powwowing around a campfire, I forget what time of day it was. It may have been early morning, late evening.
Early morning.
Yeah.
Early morning. So individuals began riding into the encampment. Duskendale's much more of an encampment at this point with how ruined it is. The individual was very much known to two of your party, one Jophiel and one Cedric. And that's where we ended. But tonight we pick up with this individual. And he's flanked by two other members of his order. I think with as much talking as we've had and hinting around the Zealous Order, we can have an idea of who this man is. But I do have a description. So, Cecil Chamberlain appears to be in his mid-40s. He possesses a weathered yet dignified visage that speaks of countless battles fought and won. His hair is flecked with streaks of silver, his beard neatly trimmed and shot through with gray. His eyes are steel blue, intense, but kind. He stands around 6 feet in height, has a muscular, broad frame, clad in plate of old, very much akin to that old plate, not plate, but old armor that Jophiel's wearing. The armor is very polished like a military man would to a high sheen, but the kind of myriad of nicks and scratches bear witness to countless battles and encounters. Displayed on his chest is the crest of the Sovereign Pillars, an intricate medallion of solid silver that features 6 pillars within a circular design. And as you look at each pillar, you can almost hear a word whispered within your mind as you look at it. And you go left to right, you would hear honor, valor, justice, mercy, faith, and duty. And this is literally just an audible thing within your mind as you look at them. Cecil Chamberlain hops down from his horse, and he specifically is, as your immediate group kind of rises, Elkarth and Vrook standing up and like patting Elkarth on the side, and they kind of walk away. Nalia, Kaelin, A lot of those that are kind of around kind of make a wide path, but who's left in this little campsite in the middle of Duskendale is you guys. Mm-hmm. The man walks forward and he gives a bow. I am Cecil Chamberlain, head of the Order of the Zealous. Bows. And he immediately goes to you first, Jophiel. Yeah. It is good to see you, Jophiel, alive and well. It's been quite a long time. And he actually goes in for a hug, if you allow it.
Yeah, that's fine.
He still kind of smells of, like, too much mint. He would always chew mint. Always. Okay. He still has that smell.
As I live and breathe, here you are, Sir Chamberlain, as always. Cecil, I see.
He nods, gives you a little bit of a wink. He does turn to you, Cedric. And he looks you up and down. Cedric, your armor is fitting quite loose. I hope you haven't forgotten to eat while tending to your duties. He does smile and he does go in for a hug. Do you allow it?
Yeah, I'll hug him.
As you hug him, he does kind of whisper in your ear, and he grips you hard, like, you know, a father that hasn't seen his son in a long time. I'm sorry that I wasn't here sooner. And he grips you hard, but then lets you go. And he's kind of looking at your other allies, and he does look at Mr. Dawnkeeper. I'm still going to leave this part in, but I'll get to it in a moment. But he does say to the rest of you, specifically because he's in front of you, Cedric, the citizens captured by the Librakians have been retrieved peacefully. I rode ahead through the crossing to get here as soon as I could. The others should be about a half day behind me. High Lord of Rook, the Librakians have been returned to their border now, and he's speaking to Vrook now, who's a little bit away from the party. But my forces cannot stand outside their gates forever. Soon you must speak to their leadership. And Vrook just kind of nods. And he does turn to kind of the rest of the members of the party, and he looks at Sir Dawnkeeper. Sir Dawnkeeper, condolences for your father's illness. Your father and I have had more than one late night of conversation, and he shakes Dawnkeeper's hand, discussing progress of the realm. He always said that progress is a path lit by invention, and that the spark is the courage to be different, which are very wise words indeed. And Mr. Dawnkeeper just nods, and they have a very quick back and forth, which I won't get into because he's not here. He doesn't look at you, Everett. Allcast sends his best. Though no words were sent by your father, I do apologize.
Yeah, it's fine. I wasn't expecting any of that.
He kind of side-eyes Cedric in that moment. Take that as you will. Mistress Moonville.
Yes.
The Zealous Order thanks you for not breaking into our vaults, at least as of yet, and at least as well as I am aware.
I would just kind of like shrug and kind of smile.
And then he does get to you. And as far as my crows tell me, Master Rylal, I know little of you, but you have shed blood alongside my son and the heiress of Twilight, so trust in you I shall, regardless of where you come from. And he does kind of hold out a hand.
I just nod.
He kind of turns specifically to Jophiel and Cedric. I do require an audience with the likes of you. I will go to the Starlight Tavern. If you wish your other allies to be in attendance, you can.
They'll come on the record.
And he does hand you a ledger.
Immediately starts reading it.
Everything that we are going to speak of is in there, so there will be no secrets.
Oh,
if you want to hear it out loud, you can attend.
I do love it. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, so the Family Ties ledger is kind of given to you. And, Cecil heads toward the Starlight Tavern, which isn't very far away. And this is kind of him a moment to go and talk to Vrook, to talk to Elkarth. He seems like he's getting caught up on everything that happened here. And he's giving you guys kind of a moment to speak among one another, and then head in that direction if you wish. So, hand it over to you guys.
There is some very interesting information of note in this ledger. One in particular relating to you, Rylal.
What do you mean?
It notes your father.
You've got kin in the fancy paper.
I guess so.
It seems that we all do.
Oh.
But did you know?
Oh.
You know, I'll just show you.
Yeah,
and I would
no,
show
yeah.
him the specific page.
Would he? It's in common, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can read it.
I
No.
can.
Actually,
Oh,
it's
he
even
can't
more
even
so.
read it.
And well, no, here's the thing: is you guys are reading over this in your mind. In your mind, your eyes and everything is telling you that this is like a common language, but it's not. It's not a language of this place. Each of you can read it,
Okay.
but you're realizing, like, wait, this doesn't look right. So you're like, nah, I can't read common, but then you're reading it, you're like, well, this is odd. I remember these symbols, I can read these symbols, but I don't recollect why or how. It's almost as something you learned long ago and perhaps has slipped your memory.
Oh my god, it's Latin.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Settler's language, one might call it. Even you, a unified language.
You'd see me rip the ledger from Xyrra's hands.
I want that back.
You'll have it back.
Hey, easy.
And I'm just staring at the page. The fuck?
It seems that you are part god beast yourself.
No. 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 And I hand the ledger back. And I just I kind of meander, just like talking to myself.
It seems that his father is Sable.
Wait, the man you've sworn to kill?
Yes.
Ironic.
You would see Rylal in a rage right now,
Oh.
wandering around.
Also,
Fuck. Just stay in the range.
Cecil, it does not seem that Cecil is his actual name.
It was as I said, Cedric, if you were to actually look at the ledger,
Or
It
peek
would-
at that comment.
if you were to peek at that, it would show
Whoa.
the name Castile is in accordance to your father, which doesn't make a lot of sense to you because that's the name of your great grandfather,
Yeah, that's not
Castile.
his name.
And then it went from Castile to Christopher Corbin and then to Cecil, but they are all tied in together as the same person,
They're all the
which
same.
doesn't make a lot of sense to you. But this
No,
is
this writing is wrong. This is-
and it also shows that Castile is the son of Voidrith.
Yes. And it seems that I am a descendant somewhere along the line of the Knights of the Vale.
where have we fetched this ledger from? Where did my father find this?
I'm not sure, but your father is the one who gave it to me.
It's obviously a forgery or something.
I don't know. Jophiel, your mother's on here as Serenity.
Which, by the way, that's a name that none of you really know. It doesn't make a ton of sense. None of this, I guess, does. Jophiel, it makes all the sense.
Does it
This
say-
is that moment where another
just-
chunk of your memory comes back, and you're like, oh.
Also, Everett,
I'm just gonna be
Does it say
quiet as I
anything
watch everyone's reactions.
Does it say-
you are also a descendant of Serenity.
Does it say? Oh, it does say.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a descendant of the Kaelor line. Kaelor is a
And
son
then-
of Serenity. Yep.
Let's see. Mr. Dawnkeeper and also the Cloud Tides are descendants of Elmadon himself. Wow.
I think I'm gonna go have a vomit.
Oh, you're also a descendant of
Family ties.
yeah,
anyway.
you are very closely tied to Jophiel. You're also a descendant of her father.
I'm confused.
I love handing out handouts to really rock the party.
But this initial letter, I'm sorry that you had to replace your mother as the seventh key.
I would say Jophiel is probably in a bit of a compromised state because until she saw this, that part of your memory was not with you. This is yet another piece returned.
Would you like me to read it?
Hang on. There's no way that Jophiel's mom could be my mom, because my mom.
No,
left
she's
on the
not
boat.
your mother.
Oh,
You're
okay.
just descendant from
Oh,
her.
oh, thank
Yes.
goodness.
You're part of the tree.
Yeah, you're part of the family tree.
There's some Game of Thrones stuff going on.
Yeah.
I will apologize.
It seems that we're all related in one way or another.
That is the takeaway.
Yes, but I am sorry that you had to replace your mother, but she did sacrifice herself for a very good cause.
She was killed.
Yes, she gave her life to seal Vale Arc away.
She was murdered.
That's not what
It
sacrifice
doesn't
means.
really read that way, but but yes,
Jophiel's kind of like your great aunt.
yes, yes.
That's funny.
Chaos.
Okay.
Love it.
This is very interesting. I will. I'm gonna keep this for sure. Yep.
If anybody's paying attention to me at this point, I have buried my great axe into the ground.
He's just digging a hole.
Yeah.
It just slammed in the ground, and I'm just kind of like leaned against it, quivering with rage.
He'll come out of it sooner or later. He's fine.
Yeah, it's better to just keep your distance while he's like this. Honestly.
Town's already destroyed. What's the worst that could happen?
Dawnkeeper, of course, seeing that he's potentially a descendant of that which has cursed his bloodline, would be very
Yeah.
ecstatic as well. Though I won't speak for him, I'll let him speak on it next session.
That does kind of make sense. It ought to be pretty easy to get a family favor to fix it. Even though the family favor put it on him.
So what's happening is my players are finding out that they are all in some way connected to the sovereign pillars, which are the basis of
Yeah.
godhood in this
And
campaign.
if they're not sovereign pillars, they're descendants of god beasts.
But it's
Or they're
Such as
on the side of
Rylal.
both.
still doesn't
Sup.
say.
Yeah, according to the ledger, Cedric, it would appear that you, if this is correct, are like Jophiel and half god beast, half pillar.
Yes.
If this was true.
Yes, because it seems that your father is a key, one of the keys.
This is ridiculous.
Not one of the keys. Castiel, not Castiel.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, you got to be careful on that one.
Sorry.
It's hard.
Castiel's a sovereign pillar, and then Fiona is a god beast.
Okay.
Castiel's not a pillar
Nakarada.
either.
He's one of the other one.
He's a son of.
Oh, a
Yeah,
son of
he's
the
a
pillar.
son
Sorry.
of the pillar.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
So
what
it's
I meant.
it's very,
The son of
it's
Voidrith.
difficult. Yeah. If this was true, Sir Cedric, it would mean that your father is the son of Voidrith, which is a god that you've been trained to hate your whole life. It would also mean that your mother, Fiona, is the daughter of Arada, which is one of the major god beasts of a continent that you've never been to. So this is all kind of like a lot for all of you.
Yeah.
And welcome to like, this is one of those. There's a lot of names and
Yeah.
stuff in this, so it's kind of my players are kind of getting, as the campaign progresses, this will all make more sense. So this is just kind of giving you guys a look on the last big secret of the Zealous Order. So super fun.
Well, Cedric, it seems your father has been around for quite some time, if this ledger is to be believed. And I see.
That ledger's bullshit.
Well, I can always check. What would you like me to roll to check and see if this is?
I was just say Toby at this point is probably also kind of looking over it.
Yeah,
you
'cause
can
Toby's mentioned.
You can roll history and arcana.
yeah,
I'd like one of
Toby.
each.
Okay.
Toby knows the old ways.
There's advantage on this too.
Advantage?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Toby does.
Let's see. Arcana is 15. And history was in that one.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would say that you can't verify whether or not this is some kind of work of fiction, but you are mostly convinced, and I think that it's coming off of passively kind of taking in Jophiel's
Demeanor.
quietness and demeanor on it. Toby, though, is kind of he's going over it. This book doesn't look to be a forgery.
I do not think so either. I think this is true.
It's of the ilk of my great-great-grandfather. A lot
That
of the books
book
that he
is
left behind.
bullshit.
Okay, Rylal, it's bullshit.
What
Not bullshit. He
was
kind of
that?
turns to the rest of you. I think it's real.
What was up with your granddad and making books?
He was a wizard. He liked to write things.
I know the feeling.
He should quit.
Well, he's dead now, so
Thank God. 'cause
when I die,
can't
I'll let him
handle
know.
any more of these.
Don't write any more books.
To be honest, I wouldn't put it past him that he's still writing some sort of book. This is all fucking madness.
He's alive. He hasn't sent me a postcard in a long time.
Well, it's entirely possible.
In the background behind this, Rylal starts screaming "Sable" like in a thunderous roar, yelling out, thinking that he will pop up.
Sable!
You're like a fucking boogeyman. Say it 3 times.
I'm trying to think. What's the
What's what?
Candyman, is that what you think?
not Candyman? It's some other pop culture where they're screaming out their name.
It's Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Three times.
Beetlejuice. I'm thinking of something else then.
There's a lot of different.
There's
There's
Yeah,
a couple. There's a
different
couple
Bloody
horror
Mary.
ones. Yeah, Bloody Mary.
It is very entrenched in, well, like that was original, like witch lore. Where
Yep.
it's, did you say the name?
I mean,
It has
Naruto.
power.
Sasuke.
Yeah. That's a good one. Sasuke! God, I hated hearing his fucking name.
It's just in the voice that his name was in. Let's be fair.
I
Yeah.
hated him for so long. Anyway,
All right,
what would you guys like to do? Continue on.
Screaming into the void.
but this
Understood.
doesn't
Understood.
have my mother's name in it directly. Yes.
No.
No.
Well, then it's meaningless to me, really. It's
It's just saying that you
It's
are a
cool.
descendant of Kalor.
I'm descendant of many.
It's well, so
Yes.
actually, like as you begin to flip through the pages, when I bold that it's like, oh, Whitlock is a descendant
Yeah,
of this. If
that's
you skip
noted
through the
several
back,
times.
you would find it. That's the thing, is you would find your father's name and you would find your mother's name. And you would look at the family tree all the way back to Kalor.
I think I would get closer to names that I start recognizing and start slowing down.
I would like to cast a spell on everybody.
Sure.
Calm emotion.
Oh my gosh, you in calm emotion? I am calm.
Because everyone's freaking the fuck out.
I'm
and
not.
while I'm not upset, like,
You wouldn't
I'm
be
also
because
a little slightly emotional about it because,
Yeah.
but I'm going to, obviously everyone else is really upset, so I'm going to calm emotion.
Cedric's
everyone.
been very quiet too, though. I don't think that he's. I think that he's like holding it in to
Doesn't
like
matter.
wait and see. but
Everyone, I'm doing that.
specifically, probably. I think specifically
he-
Rylal, maybe.
You need to make a charisma saving throw.
Charisma saving.
Unless
Yeah.
you want to fail it.
I doubt he wants to fail it. I think he
Yeah.
wants to stay enraged.
Charisma saving.
Cedric, are you freaking out?
What is my charisma?
I'm pretty fucking peeved, yeah.
Hey, he's pretty peeved. Do you want to make him do it too?
Yeah.
Shit.
You-
Oh, nat 1.
Oh shit! You immediately just.
You see me drop. I drop to the ground, and like all the rage leaves.
Yeah, Cedric's pretty peeved too, but he's a paladin, so good luck. What'd you get, buddy?
13 plus.
Yeah, you
something.
pass. There's no way. He's still mad.
Yeah, Cedric's still mad.
13 plus like 8, 21 or something, 22.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's
I think it's gonna be 8, yeah.
Yeah,
the
you're
scary
you.
mad.
We pass.
The
you
light
can
of
stay mad.
Essos. Let me tell you.
He's the
But I at least chill out the paladin.
No.
the barbarian.
The
Barbarian.
barbarian.
Yeah.
Shit, barbarian. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We
20.
got you.
Gotcha.
I would walk back over to the party after
Just a minute.
cleaning myself off.
Just a minute. You can go back to raging in a second if you feel like it.
And I would say, hand me a ledger.
I would hand it over. Don't destroy this.
I don't think I can right now.
Okay, good.
And I look it over. Again, see Sable's name.
And where every other like descendant, where it's like I said in bold on this, where it's like Moonvale descendant of Quinara, and it shows the whole family tree going like present all the way back to her parents and beyond. Yours is just like a single entry, and it doesn't. There's no branching path to a mother. It's just a note almost in there, like almost like a small dagger. But you're calm right now, you know.
I'd be looking at that and examining it and realizing that there's a lot I don't know about myself. My name means omen and lunatic in our language. So
How fucking
It
old
would-
are you?
Damn.
34 because I died.
What?
34 because I died. I like that.
34 because you died.
I was 26. I was young.
His body
Okay.
aged when he died.
Okay, hold up now. I don't know much about your kind here. But please explain. What do you mean? Y'all come back? Like you die and you get to like try again?
No, when,
You're reborn?
when
do you not
Elkarth
remember?
raised him.
Do you not remember when an Archon decided that it'd be fun to blast me
Oh.
with shit?
I mean, you were kind of just, dead. It's
He
relative.
technically died.
And you would notice my
Oh.
hair has become a little more silver hewn,
Yeah.
less white.
Oh, yeah, that's
I feel
different.
ignorant. I didn't realize that you had already passed on to the other world because you were back on your feet so quickly.
I did not pass to anything. Everything was
It was so
a
quick.
blur, but
I wouldn't think you would have even made a journey of any sort.
well, for as long as I was out was a lot of agony.
Ah.
I don't know if I had stayed dead for very long what would have happened, but what I experienced for that short period of time was not pleasant, to say the least.
I thought you had a stomach bug. You threw up on me.
Wait a sec. So maybe that's what this is talking about. I was thinking it, but in literal terms, the Sable was your father.
Yes.
This says Sable is my father.
yes.
In a sense, if he is the one that brought you back from the brink.
No, Sable didn't bring me back from the brink.
Oh,
no,
there's
my,
more to the
Elkhart.
original deal.
my
Your passive investigation would kind of tell you this is an old book.
Have passive.
Yeah, you don't need much.
Oh, okay.
It's just like as long as your intelligence isn't like an 8 or below.
Oh, okay, yeah, good.
This is an old book. This isn't something that was
yeah,
written
okay.
yesterday.
Well, it does seem though like it is odd though to me that it is just the two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If
no, and you
if
should.
It
and you
is
should
an
be,
old book.
You should be speculative
Yeah.
for sure, 100%.
So I thought maybe Sable's known for making deals.
Mhm.
Why wouldn't he weasel himself into the gods' books?
You couldn't put it past him to magically
that
alter
seems-
some kind of
yeah.
literature. I get the angle. I get the angle.
The only thing that I question is rumors amongst my people did not mention anybody leaving our world underground. It didn't happen. Those who left were killed. They never got to experience it.
Maybe
The
they
fact
weren't
that
actually
I
killed.
made it through Sable, who is
Pieces should start to be forming in your mind
Wait,
right now when you
wait.
say that sentence. Like no one has ever gotten away, but
way
I
stronger
did.
than I am, and he made it very clear he was, and yet I survived that encounter. And then he brings me, and I'd pull my, draw the battle axe. He brings me this. It's not cursed. I don't feel there's no ill intent in this weapon. What's his purpose? Why would he let me continue to exist? Especially with the way my people are. I shouldn't. I should be hunted. I should be killed. Yet
Seems as though he's protecting you.
nobody's hunting me as far as I can tell. Not from my people. And he brought me my stuff back that I lost when I was escaping. So I don't know if this book is correct, but this makes the most sense right now. And I don't know who my mother was. Mother, to me, was our head priestess. She was the one, but I don't think she birthed me. But I don't know. It's very confusing, and everything that Sable does from rumors is all the deception, lies, speaking half truths, which is all my people know. Which is why I've always been very critical about what people say.
Well, it
Because
makes
if you-
sense as why he is labeled as the leader
Yes.
of the Endless Staircase.
Which brings more questions to mind. And yet, obviously, he didn't hear my bellowing. Thanks,
Either that or
Jophiel.
he did. He just didn't.
He's choosing to ignore.
Yeah.
We're going to have a serious conversation if he shows up again.
You could always write him a letter.
You could do that, yeah.
Sable cannot keep his presence here for long, so perhaps there's also the reason why he did not engage you.
Maybe.
He's not supposed to be on the surface, yet he makes his appearance known occasionally.
I'm not supposed to be on the surface, and he did make mention of that as well.
I do remember him warning you. You told
Yeah,
us that he warned you.
You said it could be very bad for the company you keep.
Well, perhaps he is siphoning energy to you that you don't realize to keep you on the surface in the meantime.
It's very
Maybe.
possible.
So
I think it'd be time for me to discuss this with someone
He's-
who can check over my body and see what's going on.
he is a god beast. I mean, this is his world, although he tends to stay under the endless staircase. Anytime that he's able to spend on the surface, maybe he is letting you run the surface in his place.
Maybe.
Ah,
I can't say what the Mala'us have in store for us. That is Drow, by the way.
yeah. Mala'us.
Mala'us. Honored one.
Oh,
You two would understand that.
I
Yeah.
would understand that. Yeah.
There you go, DM.
Nice.
Well, I think I need a drink. Headed, yep, I'm gonna go find
The Starlight Tavern?
just literally anything.
Where is Vrook right now? Is he going to the Starlight Tavern?
Vrook is within the vicinity.
This is where we split the party.
Vrook-
Those who go to the Starlight
The
Tavern.
Starlight Tavern
and
is
then
is within eyesight of, because it's in the square where the church is kind of where you guys were held up. Starlight Tavern is only a short walk away. Vrook is still kind of outside with his thralls and the others, so he's in the vicinity. But the man that is Cedric's father did go into the Starlight Tavern, if you're curious where he went. So
I would like to approach Vrook.
Vrook does see you approaching, and he's talking to Brunica currently. Kind of puts a strong hand on Brunica's shoulder, and Brunica walks away. Everett's heading toward the tavern, because he said drink, I'm assuming. And you guys can diverge in any way that you would like.
I never did look in the back. I just said that much.
Okay.
Great axe in hand. I'd approach Vrook.
Yeah?
Jesus.
Great accent. Great accent.
Pommel down. I'd put it in the ground, and it'd be a very formal, soldier-esque
Sure.
kind of look. And Rylal would say, "Hi, Lord Vrook. I wish to seek a private audience with you, if you would deem it so."
Allow me to pick up my cup here real quick. As I put my microphone back on its stand as it fell off. Yeah, we're going to fix that in a
There's
little bit. That was
something
funny.
about that stand. It
It's
gets
this stand.
wiggly.
It's this stand in particular. So, backtrack as you approach High Lord Vrook and say this. We can have a conversation. He's kind of like taking everything that you're doing in and seeing the scope of it, and he's just kind of eyeing you curiously, not with any malice or malcontent. He just seems to be very curious why you're approaching him.
I wish to speak about some matters that should stay between us for now.
Ooh, secrets.
Sounds like we should take a walk then.
If you deem it so, we shall.
We need more meat for the fire anyway. And he kind of gestures toward the path that leads toward the outskirts of town, through the ruin gate. So you guys kind of head off in that direction. Where does everyone else kind of diverge off to here?
The tavern.
Everyone else going to the tavern?
I would go to the
Okay.
tavern and I would probably sit in a corner, like at a table with,
Ink and quill,
yeah,
parchment.
just like taking notes and like taking in everything that's in this ledger. And at some point, I would probably yell across the room to Cecil. Is there any other information that you plan to share, or is this all of it?
We'll get to that. So everyone else is going to the tavern to speak with Cecil. And then Vrook and Rylal are going to have conversations. So I'll handle that first. So you wait till you kind of pass all denizens of Duskendale. Gets to the point where it's just those warriors of Sorborg and of, High Lord Vrook that are far enough at distance where you can have a hushed conversation. Vrook, like I've said before, is a very charismatic and calm individual for the power and kind of the stance and everything that he exudes. He makes it very easy to talk to him. So he's quiet until you begin speaking. He's very courteous and allows you to kind of get to what you want in the conversation and to start it. So be my guest.
High Lord Vrook.
Vrook is fine.
Your stature demands respect, and all I can give is respect at this point.
The respect that I've earned has been given to me only because of the power that I possess. In all honesty, it's a menial calculation of strength.
I know my status of this world. I know less of the upper world than I do in the below. In my homeland, I was fodder.
Well, welcome to a land where most people that are different are also persecuted. And he gestures at himself and then gestures to his thralls, which are all half-blooded orc, goblin, hobgoblin, things like that.
Yeah, I've noticed your kind share some similarities with mine. Can you do me a favor? You made a remark during Eldon and the sisters' punishment. You put together two words that, in my language, don't go together. You said war and crime. What was done is natural to my people. But the implications of putting those two words together tends to lead to a different idea. What did you mean by that?
He kind of chuckles a little bit. I was speaking to those not of the same ilk as you or I, with similar backgrounds.
Okay.
Speaking to the surface dwellers as you've deemed them is no different than I, an outlander from the Barren Lands, speaking to humans and elves. You find a tongue for it. You say things in ways that they can swallow. It's the only way that I've gotten to the place of power that I am at currently. Honestly, I understand your opinion on the words that I said, and I would wholeheartedly agree. So in short, I said what I said because it sounded good in their ears.
Understood. That is the ways of my people. What sounds good, what half truths we speak, what deception we throw out there, whatever makes people's minds flutter with acceptance. I kind of gathered that we were alike in many ways, which is why I approached you, and I apologize for doing such in an abrupt manner.
There is no order left. Not currently within the Hook lands, nor the Core lands, nor the Fringe lands. Everything's kind of been turned on its head.
When you don't have order, you have chaos. Chaos breeds resentment. Chaos breeds the inability to lead a people. Though we are thrust into chaos right now, chaos is something I only understand when I get into a temper and that smile.
Chaos is just an ingot that has yet been melted down and molded into something new. The end of it. Hopefully we will have an artifact or a weapon or words. Civilization that we can be proud of. I've been working toward this my entire life. Unfortunately, because I was strong and arrogant when I was younger, I took the challenge of the High Lords. I've met each of the pillars in person. I've been here for over 300 years. Yet, the entire time, I've watched the people that I've come from be persecuted. Done enough reading of where you've came from to understand that we, as you say, are not too dissimilar.
Yeah, and again, that's why I've approached you. I have a couple of questions I'd like to ask of you if you would get them out.
Of course.
My first question is, amongst your people, do you have any spellcasters, clerics, healers of sort that can check over me? I've been told I shouldn't be here, and there's been some things I cannot explain that have happened, and things I've experienced for very short amounts of time that someone needs to tell me what's going on, so I don't put my party in danger.
If Elkarth hasn't properly looked over you, I would recommend that he would. Castiel as well, Cecil, would be another. I could have some of my thralls, some of my clerics look over you if you wish.
I would prefer to put this burden on somebody not in a high position.
He kind of does chuckle. Your immediate person and allies are in a high position. In a spotlight that perhaps you're not used to, but you will continue to be in. But we can make it discreet. I'll send some of my witch doctors if you wish.
Yeah, I can't ask one of the Malithus to look me over. It's not in their station. Cedric's position is also very important, and I'm not going to burden them with what's going on with me as of this point. And I prefer to do this discreetly so that if it's something I don't want the rest of my comrades that you see me just kind of smile know about, unless they need to.
I will ask about my witch doctors and some individuals I know within the Zealous Order. If you think there is something truly wrong. Though he does kind of chuckle, I think there's something truly wrong with most of us.
If not for my, see him grit his teeth, father having fair warned me, I wouldn't really care. But that warning, for some reason, has resonated with me, and I cannot ignore it.
As a High Lord, we've been given information that you've been learning and that your allies have been trying to learn and understand since they've came together. I am not stupid to the facts of which you've been given in regards to lineage. As I said, I've done plenty of reading, and I've even met those of the Endless Staircase. I've bested 2 God Beasts. If you're truly worried about him, just stick around. I'll make sure you're safe. He says that with a very joking, kind of like nonchalant, like trying to cut any tension type of thing.
Rylal would grin, big old toothy grin at that mention. Speaking of my second question,
Sure.
and you've confirmed the rumors that I've heard, that you have bested.
I have fought Night River and Peltclaw and came out alive and on top. And neither of them would disagree.
Power is a very strong tool amongst my people, as you may have read. Now, my goal for power is not to rule per se. I am not one to shackle myself with a mantle like that. Not to say you're shackled, but there are expectations from one in your position that I'd prefer to avoid. However, my people only listen to power, and I think we have been directed in the wrong direction when it comes to how we should handle ourselves. Many of the god beasts come to visit us, and what you guys would say is evil would be a very good line for them. There are some that tend to not be as brutal or have as much malice in their ways. But I want to be able to obtain power to the point where I can maybe talk to my people and bring maybe some redemption to them. If I can free them from the shackles of their brutal ways, show them that there's more to this world than killing each other, enslaving each other, and being at the whims of whatever spoiled brat decides to show themselves to us.
There is a conversation being had within that tavern as we speak. My position on this world's affairs are well known. I wish to free the subjugation of my people. It seems that you and I are of similar ilk. If there's anything that I can do to aid your people in the conflicts to come, if I can put you in a situation to where you can speak to them and even rally them to our cause, I will. I'll not tell you that it will be easy, or that it will even actually happen. But there's a people that are in the same situation as those as I wish to indoctrinate into the civilized world. As a man of similar thinking, I will aid you in this. Best that I can.
I appreciate that.
I do think... No, go ahead.
More straight to the point. You have defeated and yet not killed. Looking quizzically at him, make sure that is correct. Some god beasts. Night River and Peltclaw, as you proclaimed. As far as I know, Night River still exists, because there was a moment we saw him.
Both of them do still live.
All I've ever known is death, blood, slavery of people. I want to understand how one conquers such power yet spares it in the same breath, as I know nothing but drawing the blood and the last breath leaving as a victory.
I would be lying if I said that I trained endlessly for years, which I did, and then was put into a position to where it was easy for me. When I say that I've been here or lived a long time, it's because I have. There's a reason behind why I was able to best them. And I think that people like us can all find that reason. Though the secret to it I will not tell to you this evening. What I will say is that if you're truly aligned with those of which I care about, he gestures to kind of like the Starlight Tavern where the rest of your party is. Continue to follow their path, and we will speak more on the matter. And I will not forget this conversation, nor your people or where you come from. And I will do what I can, and as you learn more, to help you navigate this path of understanding. And if it is true power that you seek, perhaps I can help in that as well.
Whatever you'd like to bestow, any knowledge like to bestow upon me, I will accept.
Well, first we're gonna get some witch doctors and see what it is you're so worried about. Because he's like looking at you in this conversation, how you're handling yourself, and in his eyes, you seem relatively fine, but you seem also very worried. So that's kind of what he goes to. First, make sure that you're healthy. So he begins to kind of go off and speak to individuals, and that's kind of what you get tied up into. But across the way, in the Starlight Tavern... Across the way in the Starlight Tavern, Jophiel's been standing outside for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden she rushes to the lavatory. Let's take a quick break right there, as Andrea needs to take a wee-wee, apparently.
Late night
Let's talk about Spectre.
maintenances.
Let's
I was
talk
like,
about
you gotta
that.
be fucking kidding me. Quit it. People are doing shit. Like, wait until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when nobody's awake,
Except
even the
for
night
me.
owls. Like, do it then. No, like 10 p.m.
It
Fuck
should
you.
be like fucking.
Oh, it's the worst on
4
those
o'clock
late night
Pacific time.
gaming nights. That's the worst is whenever you get
And-
randomly
and
disconnected.
When it happens, like, I'll be streaming. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? It's
Oh
the
yeah,
worst
of
time to
course.
do it.
Of course.
So we moved to
What are
mainstream.
you doing?
Fantastic.
Fucking
Yeah.
mint.
that's a great
so
company,
good.
and they've had to fight tooth and nail to get as far as they've gotten. So good for them.
Oh yeah.
So you got your water, honey? You feeling better?
I could talk a little shit about
Yep.
mainstream.
Are you sure?
Yep.
We've all drank a little bit tonight. Welcome back to Whiskey Dice.
Hi.
We're gonna jump back into it because I'm gonna drag my players through it. So Rylal's been having this conversation with High Lord Vrook. This is hilarious. But in the meanwhile, another conversation's been happening within the Starlight Tavern, and so Xyrra, Everett, Jophiel, and then Cecil and Cedric. Is that kind of the gang that we want to have in here?
Unless
Elkarth
Whitlock
is
in there.
outside.
He's drinking.
Everett's there. That's what I said.
No, Whitlock. Oh,
Everett Whitlock.
Dawnkeeper. Sorry.
He's around, but he's not here because he's not here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna RP him.
Okay.
Okay, I can carry him around again.
I already RP'd him once, and I came up with the tagline of "Dainty Fingers." So
He's a tired boy.
I will not besmirch his name any further.
I might.
So, Sir Cedric, you head into the tavern, and Jophiel with you because Cecil wanted to speak to you two specifically, but he said that you can bring your allies if you wish. You guys kind of you funnel in, and Cecil, very very Elkarth-like, is kind of raiding the stores that are left. He's kind of munching on some bread because he's been riding for God knows how long, and he's grabbing like drinks and things and kind of trying to lessen the blow of information that he seems about to give. He does notice that Jophiel has been very quiet. He does notice that Xyrra found a side booth and began to write and is about to be listening. Everett is pacing, and then Cedric, you seem to be fuming a bit. Yes,
I
Everett?
grabbed a piece of paper and quill from you.
Ah, he wants to take notes as well.
Yeah.
No, I got a letter to write. Been putting it off for a minute.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
understood.
I would very gladly hand you a piece of paper and quill.
So, Cecil does eventually turn to you, Cedric, as each of you get comfortable enough, and he takes a seat at the bar as you guys are at like different tables. Everyone's either standing or whatever. And he looks at you, Cedric, and each of you have looked around the book, and he kind of waited for everyone to kind of get to that point of like, what is this? What's going on? Looks at you, Cedric. You are my only child, Cedric, but I have lived a long life and taken precautions to change my appearance and name when needed. Though you have known me as Cecil, my true name is Castiel. My father is Alniran, though you know him as Voidreth, and your mother Fiona is a descendant of the god beast known as Arada. He kind of waits for any sort of response from you, Cedric.
That's very kind of you to tell me after all these years. In all this time. After I've read it from parchment.
He takes that. He doesn't laugh like I did. He takes it very much on the chin. There's many reasons why we did not tell you early on, Cedric. We did not know that Jophiel would awaken within this century. We did not know that the conflict would come to such a head. We may have tailored you to be ready for it, but we also were hoping that you would be allowed to live a normal life. He does kind of pause there as well.
A normal life. It is not real. It is a fake life. The two things that are most dear to me, my family and my faith, are both gone. An entire lineage of my blood is gone. 4 generations of men gone in an instant. My whole life I'm taught of the church, of these 3 pillars. There are not 3 pillars. All lies.
Well, there are 6 pillars, and you happen to be a direct descendant of each.
Perfect. Perfect.
I would
Your own son. You could not tell your own son.
What I would say is that, Cedric, you've been sworn to things in your training within the Order of the Ascendant Flame. You were sworn to secrecy within many vows that you've kept. Would you break those vows? Because those vows of the secrecy within the Zealous Order are the same vows that were given to me by the Sovereign Pillars, specifically the Triumvirate. I've kept these secrets for many a generation. I was honor-bound to do so, just like you were honor-bound in your own duties. But I can understand, as a young paladin, how learning this now would be very... It would be very angering. I understand. And he pauses again.
I almost called you Cecil.
You can call me Father, Dad, Cecil, Castile.
Castile, I am no son of yours, merely a pawn in whatever life you wish to create.
He does kind of nod. When I was your age, I don't think that I would have reacted any different. When I saw you here this day, and I hugged you and said that I was sorry that I didn't arrive in time, there was a part of me that wanted to apologize for everything else, though I didn't do it in the moment. But I will allow you your anger, if you wish it. He pauses again.
It seems there's a greater conversation to be had with more than just myself. We may as well participate in that. I have nothing else to say in personal matters.
Then we will put personal matters to the side and speak of business and duty. And he would kind of turn it to you, Jophiel. This world's conflicts have always been tied to family greed and infighting. Ithrin's return, as you know it, is more than a veiled attempt at the next coming of Velark. It has started a countdown of sorts. For years, centuries, we've had a truce, a family pact in the way of the god beasts of this world, and Ithrin has turned their children against them. He's taken war to the ethereal plane of rest, which is the plane of the god beasts themselves. He does pause there, kind of seeing if you add anything to that, Jophiel.
It always seemed that when the leaders of either side would speak upon each other, there was always a tenseness about it.
It does seem that I'm speaking to you solely now. Because of my son's anger, I will do so in a way as if you don't understand, Jophiel. Though you've been around just as long as I. It kind of gives you a little bit of a wink. Eowyn, your father, has given us 3 years to fix the mess that our families have created. His mourning over the loss of your mother is ended. His kindness wears thin. The Zealous Order protects the secrets of the arrival of this world. Our arrival. It's hid away all traces of Balark because he turned against our family. When he killed your mother, Jophiel, each of the pillars turned on him. It was that atrocity that hit us in the heart. Even though blood runs deep. Grudges are like clogs within an artery. If they are left to fester and grow, then the host will eventually perish. Eowyn has asked that sovereignty is to return to Alora. He's given us 3 years to work out quarrels within and amongst one another, and to extinguish that which is the council of the realm entirely, and to put one of both sovereign and chamberlain blood of the youngest generation onto this sovereignty and throne. You, Cedric, and you, Jophiel, are the best candidates, and the only candidates. I don't know that either of you are prepared. I don't know that either of you would even want it. And I know that neither of you have finished what has been started here, but the realm falls further into chaos each second that Ithrin remains of this new minister of faith. And if Balark was to return, it could be the cause for the 4th war that this world has suffered since our arrival. So, Cedric, I know that you're angry at me for not telling you the truth. But the truth is that we've lied to everyone. The generations that have come, because we wanted to meld into a world that they thought was their own. But we are settlers here. We are not of it.
You would hear Xyrra mutter from her corner, I can't wait to tell my parents that I was right.
If we do not take matters into our own hands, if you're not able to accept the truth, Cedric, and to aid our people in this, or you, Jophiel, upon Eowyn's return in 3 years, those of direct descendancy of the Chamberlain line will be cast out, and the rest fed to the flame that is the world's soul. I'm not asking you. I'm not asking you to fall into dismay, Cedric. Honestly, that makes little sense. I'm asking you to look beyond your feelings. That is more the truth. I'm asking you to look toward duty. For even though I was born as son of a god that you've yearned to hate, your mother is the daughter of Essos, thus of which your fire was born. I'm asking you to put duty before feelings and to aid our family. And if you will not do it, then I will ask the heiress of Twilight. This conflict must end. We only have 3 years to do it. Cedric, if you are hesitant, then I would ask you of this. It will take you no less than 3 years to walk each path of the Triumvirate. You would be the first to do so, and you would receive much enlightenment of our family. He kind of leaves it there. Pauses.
There is no burden too big for me to bear. I can do this.
There's a proudness in Castiel's eyes, but also because of the conversation, he doesn't speak on it. He just kind of glosses over it.
Castiel, I am curious about something that you said because it contradicts a little in this ledger. You said that Serenity was murdered, but in this letter it seems as though she might have sacrificed herself in order to seal Valark away. Which is it?
In the minds of those that were there, in the recollections of my father, they would say that she was killed. In the true sense of the matter, she sacrificed herself to make sure that Valar could do no more harm to the realm.
Ah, I see. Thank you for answering.
He nods. If Aelin is forced to return, if we're not able to bring peace to our people, and keep Valark at bay, we'll have a tough decision to make. We will either have to leave this world or take it. You young and he kind of stumbles over it, and he grits his teeth. Everett Whitlock, you hold in your chest now a weapon. Any side can wield it. And whether or not you like it, you must remain safe.
I stay safe. I travel with the heiress of Twilight herself.
He actually chuckles at that. Each of you are tied to the family line in some way. That was the secrets that have been kept from you. It's interesting that you've come together when you have, because it was pure happenstance that Alex's father fell this ill that he searched for my son. It was pure happenstance that you ever decided to guide him here. It was pure happenstance that in this age that a dark elf would wander from the great below. It's pure happenstance that Xyrra here has decided to start stealing things all of a sudden.
Well, I have been spying for years, but, you know, sometimes spying isn't enough.
He does chuckle at that. In short, it's not a good plan, but it's the one that we have. My son isn't willing to take immediate action to work toward what we want. Then I would ask of you, Cedric, to walk the paths of each of the pillars to gain enlightenment of our family. In the meantime, I would ask that you, Jophiel, lead these people. I would ask that you explore the world that you've forgotten, to understand it, to let the Hooklands know that Jophiel is not what Ithrin portrays the 13 to be, to remind the people of who we are. And after 3 centuries, I would say be damned with the secrets. If the truth is what this world needs, then so be it. And I'm sorry. That sorry kind of, he looks at Cedric, puts his head down.
I don't come across as much leader potential. While I will go forth bravely, I go forth bravely in the company of others. They wish me to lead us in the next 3 years into a sovereignty under my ruling. I cannot do so without them. I will not do so without them. But only if they wish it. If they wish Cedric to be said sovereignty, I will back them most heartily and guarantee his rise.
I don't think it comes down to those of which you walk with now, Jophiel. It all comes down to public opinion. The thing is that this world is mostly populated by those that are of the same ilk. What I'm saying is it's not bad to have options. Where one might fail, another can rise. I don't know which one of you should take it. But we are all of family here. What I'm saying is no matter how hard the decision, something must be done. Or this world that we fought so hard to settle upon will be taken from us. It's a conflict of interest when it comes to you, because your father is that of which will cast us out. If you can uphold the ideals of those that are foreigners in your land, and the ideals of your father, and to make peace among all of us, you are the best candidate. But if you are unwilling, what is it? What's wrong?
Your camera went off.
Oh, mine did?
Yep.
Well, who needs mine? I'll go deal with it in a minute. RP.
I think we all need you, bud.
I'm not here, so
I
talk
know.
amongst yourself.
Oh,
I am no longer here.
he passed out drunk. Oh no! Someone gave him a kick.
Continue. Talk amongst yourself. It's all good.
Well, yeah, I guess I do have some. Cedric, was that as cathartic as you were hoping it was going to be? Or is there still like a big hole?
I think up to this point in my life, it may have been the most enlightening thing.
Well, I would be happy for either of you to be the leaders of this world. Obviously, we've gotten to know you over the course of these last many weeks, and you're both very honorable people, and I would be more than happy to walk beside you, either of you.
Castiel went and took a wee. In the middle of talking, what happened?
I assume I'm not here.
Were you just talked to?
She
Okay.
looked at me. I was like,
Yeah, Rylal's not here as of yet.
I forgot.
No. I asked Cedric some stuff, and then Xyrra did.
Gotcha.
Or Xyrra made.
You guys have been
Something
given
like some stuff.
you guys have been given kind of the general outline, and everyone's a bit upset or taking from it what they will.
Yeah.
But if there's any other remarks to Castiel himself, that would be a good time for it. Before I just, we exit this scene and go on to all of you.
I feel like part of this decision, though 3 years from now, must also weigh in the fact that I was born many, many, many centuries before all this. And Cedric was just born not too long before. He has an idea of the world that is now, and I have an idea of the world that was before all this.
Neither
It
of you have
must
actually
be-
been.
Considered.
Both of you are under consideration, but neither of you have been specifically chosen. Though your father did make it rather clear.
That he would prefer Jophiel. Well, of course.
That he would prefer a half-blood. But yes, I would assume. But the fact that you allowed your brother to strip from you your memory And as I sit here and now and I speak to one that is so calm and considerate, which is very much unlike you, Jophiel, I can understand why Cedric would be the better option until you are to regain your former self.
And you said basically if they can't come to a decision on who sits on said throne.
If the world is not, it's not if they,
Well,
it's us.
Unity.
right.
If we do not fix what we settlers have
set in motion.
set into motion, have fought over for centuries, then Eowyn will make sure that none of us are left,
So then it'll be a fight.
of which then we will have to decide what we do.
That makes sense.
Aelin is my father is the voice of the world. He will command all god beasts and their children to command upon what he chooses.
It would be hell, fire, and brimstone. Yes, it would be a war unlike you have ever seen. It would be akin to the war that happened between Pillar and God Beast when we first arrived on this world.
I trust you. The beasts are not friendly, and
No.
they are as backed into a corner.
You don't
And the
need
two
to
strongest
remind me.
of the pillars are banished to their own realms. So we don't really have a dog in this race.
But if you think I'll die with my sword still in its scabbard, you don't know me very well.
Castiel, I think, would smile there. I don't know if you'd be fighting with your sword or your heart in the coming conflict.
Well, my heart's... Where's my heart?
I have it.
Do you have it, by the way?
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
Thank
I
God.
still have it.
He's just
Oh,
holding
thank
it.
God.
And I have it like
Is it in
a
a bag?
lantern, essentially attached to me.
It's in a lantern.
Oh,
Essentially.
Just like
In a
hanging
la-
on your side.
she's saying it's like one of those. It's like the rose in
Yeah.
the Beauty and the Beast kind of.
Yeah, that means people
thing.
can see it.
Yeah, it's in visual sight currently.
I mean, I could put my robe around it.
You put a towel over something?
She just is sitting there like, hey, look, there's this man's heart just sitting in on my
It's
side.
beating.
I got
Hey,
your
you guys
heart,
want to
bro.
see a dead body?
Don't make me pull up the heart.
see a dead
I
You
got
want
it.
to see you guys want to see a stasis heart?
Oh shit!
I mean, maybe.
Don't make me
What's the
squeeze
movie?
it.
Stand by Me. You want to go see a
Fuck
dead
yeah.
body on the
Yeah,
railroad
yeah.
tracks?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's...
I have your heart.
I mean, yeah, but I'm worried that... Well, like, you could hit a branch or a corner of a table. Or,
You think I'd carry your
What if
heart
it
so
actually were to
callously?
happen?
I mean, no.
Do you really think so? You being one of my trusted people.
I mean, I know, but like...
I trust only 5 others,
Stuff
and you're
does
one of
happen.
them.
I trust only you, so you should totally
So-
trust me
yeah,
with
yeah, yeah.
this. That's what I heard.
That's solid logic.
Totally how that works.
I don't know if Everett
you want
would be
your
smart
heart
enough
back?
to figure it out, though.
Will you ask me for the heart back, so I will give it to you.
I mean, I would... It doesn't do me a whole lot of good at the moment. You just hang on to it.
Very well.
I think it would be a good idea for either Jophiel or Elkarth to carry your heart in the meantime, until we figure out what it is that we should do with it.
Someone should hide it.
Speaking of...
Another person.
How much do you know of this artifact?
Can I just look at Castiel like, we know?
Because, like, that would have been a pretty cool thing to mention before we even walked down there.
The Heart of the Veil was one of many artifacts that Voidreth and Velark left in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Velark had aspirations of eliminating the god beasts. He wanted to be able to control the funnel of souls in and out of the core of the world. He wanted the god beast not to be of this realm. Whenever we settled here, he wanted to take it by force. Jophiel's mother was opposed to this this ideal. It was their conflict that led to her death. And it was that conflict that led to the banishment of Velark himself. What I know about the heart is that it is the last vestige of humanity that Velark had.
So I guess the real question is not so much what was Velark the god, but the human?
None of the sovereign pillars, you should look at none of them as gods. They were just the strongest of a people that lost their world and became immigrants in this place. Though in the denounced times, and in the era of Void Wrath, I would say that my uncle did become something greater than what we were. We were all still family at heart. Unfortunately, now yours beats with...
I mean, what better way to say hello to your long-lost nephew than ripping his own heart out and replacing it with yours?
At least yours still beats.
I don't know the plan of Velark. I don't know the plans of Ithrin. But all this is infighting amongst the family. And what we aim to do is to end it.
Is there anything I should, watch out for?
Probably rapid palpitations.
Well, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
it's supposed to do that when I'm, fighting and such. I like a good run every once in a while.
I would say that if you stop acting as you are and start being drastically different, that those around you should worry.
Well,
I don't know enough about the artifact itself. I was never keen on this.
see, the slight issue with that is with all the new information, how could I act like my old self?
No, that is actually true. But I would say if all of a sudden that you became very vain and jealous of those around you and began to try and kill them or harvest their souls, then in that situation I would say that those around you should be very worried. But if you continue to fight alongside them and continue to hold the values of Mr. Whitlock, then it should be fine.
Yeah, jealousy doesn't look very good on me.
Knowing your father, I would say that is quite the interesting remark. And good on you.
Let me see that book.
Which one?
Your father's in
The
there.
last one.
I think the other
Yeah.
one's on our skin.
But I don't know.
I
I
have
don't know
another one
which
too.
way it comes down.
Yeah, I would hand you
Flip it over and
the ledger.
turn it all the way to the back.
Looking at it, like seeing that you're a descendant of Kalor, right? It's like whether or not your father or your mother is of that line, and then who was kind of like the others from the old world. Your father is the descendant, the main descendant of Kalor. Your mother seems to have been an immigrant from like the
Cool.
from not a direct line. She's the one that was the
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that's not so bad then.
No, not so bad. Yeah, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Ain't gotta meet nobody new. That's cool.
What I will say is that Castiel's he's dropped all this information. You guys have seen the family lines, and you have a grasp on kind of what's going on. You guys are tied up in something that maybe you're too young to understand or want. But there seems to be a lot of time to kind of figure it out. There's a lot of things to be done within the Hooklands, specifically the southern Hooklands. You have allies in Brook, in Sorborg, that has come. There's a lot of things to do and try and kind of figure out. And because, and this is kind of like stepping out of the game itself, Ian's also going to be leaving as a player in a
Yeah.
few weeks. And he's also now been given an optional directive of walking the path of each of the pillars, if that's what you want to choose Cedric to do, Ian, when we get to that point in a couple weeks. That's very cool. But that's kind of what you've been given. You have time to figure it out. But what you're figuring out is literally you are immigrants in this world. You are not from here. Some of you are. Some of you are half-Zs. Rylal has the most... he has the most claim to this world. It's so funny because he came from a
He
place
knows nothing.
that's like, what, WTF? Like, why am I here? You guys are totes different. Oh, by the way, I'm like from here. Y'all ain't. I have rights to this world
He's a
more than
native
you.
American.
This is my world. Get out.
Yeah.
Straight up, a native American.
But yeah, and I've said it countless times. Like, I've been working on the prelude of the ideal of the campaign for a while. Like, this is it. So welcome to it. So, if there's any other information, conversation, whatever that you want from Castiel, now's a good time. But if not, we're gonna move on to some other things. Oh, Everett seems to be very curious. He's like,
I think I'm good. I just wanted to make sure.
Cedric, is it?
lot
Oh,
of names.
well, no, hold on. Everett, anything else? Yes? Cedric, you specifically, is there anything else that you would like to speak to or talk to with your father before you guys part ways?
I think I've said everything to Castiel that needs to be said.
Dude, take an inspiration dice. You're playing your character like same since day one.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you, buddy. Okay. All right, we'll take it. So, are we all...
I would ask him who.
Aha, there's a question.
I would ask him who Kanara was, as I am a descendant.
Quinara is... She's either branded a Twilight or a Knight.
She's a Knight of the Veil.
Yeah, well, there you go. There it is.
But that's all the information.
That's all you would know.
Okay.
Yeah, she would. Well, beyond that, you would know that she was a follower of Valark.
So she was a follower.
Yeah, if she's a Knight of the Veil, yeah.
Okay.
There's so many. Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot. Even I have
Okay.
to look it up because of how I've written it.
Yeah. I know.
Did you say Quinara?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, and the timeline. Yep, you were right. Yep. Yeah, I mean it's just that.
Okay.
So it kind of makes sense. It kind of does. It's fun.
I mean, it kind of makes sense why I've been so obsessed with speaking the truth about him.
There's a lot that you guys just haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
So I don't want to
Yeah.
go into a lot if
That's fine. I just
if you
wanted
were to ask Castiel like who was Quinar, he would just simply tell you that she was kind of a devout follower of Valark. So
I would probably have to wrestle with that in my own mind.
yeah, I think all of you guys are wrestling with it. You're finding out that each of these combative forces are all related and all tied together by blood, and that all of you in some way, maybe not yet Rylal because he hasn't figured out who his mother is, but the rest of you are actually cousins or, like I said, Jophiel's kind of like your great aunt. Like it's a little,
Hello,
it's a
cousins.
hard family tree to navigate with the information that you've got, and that's
It's supposed to be.
it's supposed to be. Yeah. So
It's kind of like being a Targaryen.
that I really did. I modeled this. Me and Andrea and I talked about it. It was very Game of Thronesies kind of my approach to it, and there is so many avenues of what could happen, and that's what's fun about it because you guys have now entered that timeline of like you have 3 years within the world to adventure, but like at the end of it, like where are we gonna be?
Yeah, I mean it's literally World War One, right? all the leaders
Yeah.
that fought it
Oh,
were
yeah.
all family.
Yeah, but what's so interesting is like, yeah, they're all family. You're in a world that's not your own,
Sorry.
and they're willing to kick you out if you don't stop your bullshit. So it's not that you're fighting the world. It's not that you're fighting the people that have allowed you to be here. You're fighting amongst each other. It is a civil war, essentially. So you have the Core Lands, V, the Hook Lands, and everything in between. And over the next 3 years, you guys get to adventure and figure out just WTF you're gonna do.
So it was just the god beast, right? So that means we have to also get the goblins on board and the
No.
like were they native?
What Aolin has decreed is that the conflicts between everyone need to cease and only one ruler needs to be named. And they all need to be able to follow that ruler and to end their discretions amongst each other. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Vrook will still, well, it depends on what side Vrook's on.
Right.
Is Vrook gonna follow this one ruler or not? That's a big piece of it too. That's what you guys get to figure
Oh,
out over the
boy.
next 3 years
So,
of the. Yeah. Oh yeah, bro.
I
Listen,
didn't think about it. It's-
Yeah. No, it's hard because you don't know yet, and we're not gonna expedite it. Listen, I plan. This is episode 15, and we've barely scratched the surface.
Let's go.
So, but you've had your conversation with Castiel. We do need to get to some other things.
Yeah.
Definitely tonight. Pull your mic up. It was so far. I'm gonna DM from back here.
Listen, I just put it back so that I'm not breathing into it.
Yeah.
I don't mind if you breathe into it. It's just
Okay.
if you do this and you're like, "Hey, what's
Do
up?"
you want me to ASMR it?
Yeah, if you're gonna ASMR it, then like, well, do it right if you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm bad about pushing it away, and then starting the beginning of my sentence will fade in.
Yeah.
I know.
As I pull it up.
That's just the audio nerd in me. I'm the one that edits this shit.
I know.
So anyway,
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. So we're gonna get to a bit of in-game, out-of-game stuff here, mainly because Shawn's not here.
Yeah.
So the interim stuff that we're gonna get to real quick as we kind of jump to it is that over the next several weeks, I'm about to hand it over to you at the end of my spiel here, some RP of like deciding what are we doing next amongst the party. What I will say, this is not the playlist I want. God damn it, you're making me mad. What I will say, we're city. There it is. Boom. So, over the next several weeks, as you guys are aiding in the kind of Duskendale getting back on its feet, deciding where you want to go to next, talking amongst each other about everything that's happened, etc., etc. If Shawn was here, we would go into a really fun kind of RP encountery thing where him and Toby would create some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm just going to tell you what they made. Over the next month, they've made 2 wagons, a mobile forge, and a mobile tavern. That is going to be of the... you guys are going to be able to literally, like, explore this realm with a mobile forge for Dawnkeeper, and a mobile tavern via Toby to make some income. It would have been really cool if Shawn was here. And Mr. Alex Dawnkeeper, we could have went over all that, but we're not. I'm just going to say that this is what happened. You guys are entering a period of literally a month of downtime, and this is what fucking happened. So, Shawn, goddammit, how dare you? Anyway, so that's what their angle was. In that time, as you kind of look in Legend Keeper, you guys would be kind of made privy to a lot of things that are going on within the area. Vrook would ask that within the next several months that you guys would eventually make it to the Gate of Karas to aid him in negotiations with the Labrakians. Elkarth would speak to you, Everett, about perhaps returning to Wraithul as you have ties to the Elodar, and now it's just a city full of widows because most of the Elodar like warriors have been slain or taken. He also... Yeah,
all the way across the fucking continent.
it's
ain't
not.
it?
No. Wraithul's actually within 100 miles. It's on the other end of Aliandal's Crossing.
Yeah.
It's really close. It's one of your personal quests on the map. the reason why he would want you to go there is because when he saw that metal that was encased in the heart of the veil, it reminded him of the steel of the Eladar. That's kind of a cool thing for you.
right.
Jophiel, of course, you know, with everything going on, maybe it would be prevalent to awaken who's left of the 13, and you could seek out your brother. And there's a lot of other things on the map and stuff to do.
Yeah.
But as I'm going to hand it back over to you guys via RP, it's going to be up to you guys to now decide what you want to do, where you want to go, what your plan is. It's this session is very much kind of like just taking in the knowledge that you've been given and then talking amongst each other about what you want to do. And I would say that because Ian, is going to be out in a few weeks, heading in a direction that would be a good spot for him to, I'm assuming, as I look up at you, I'm assuming head off to walk the paths of the Sovereign Pillars. That may be a key in your guys' kind of deciding. So as you go into RP about this, like keep that in mind as well.
Yeah.
So fun story and narrative stuff. So I'll hand it over to you guys. You guys are wherever you want to be within the town of Duskendale. Tavern, outside, whatever. But it's just your core group. And you guys now get to talk and decide what your next steps are. And where we're going. So do that.
Quick question as a player. Were we made privy to Galewind going?
That's up to Jophiel.
She was.
will.
Jophiel, you only give them that mission on the map and if you bring it up.
I will bring it up. I will bring it up.
Okay.
Well, then bring it up.
Okay, understood.
Tell us.
We are gathered.
That sounds.
We are gathered here
we can-
today.
So I will.
We can all kind of have that information that Jophiel, with over the month, brings out the information that Galewing was taken, summoned, veil touched, and then it might be a good idea to eventually return to the forest of the Galleon, where Galewing's Godspark is, to investigate, to maybe learn something of Ithrin.
Yeah.
So you guys can have that info as well.
I would. So yeah, I would bring that up at some point during our downtime, and then during that downtime, would also bring up the fact that obviously the 13 are being hunted, and they're being very specifically hunted is not very random. And that it may be ideal to start waking them up, even if their knowledge is not fully there. It may give us more allies in the end to pursue that. Soon.
How would we pursue that?
My brother.
Your brother?
Yep.
Where is your brother?
My brother is at the Twilight Citadel.
Okay.
Oh, as always, super specific and helpful.
So
it's just over
You
the
would have a
Fortune
map.
Hills.
Yeah, you would have a map of the
I would
area.
say that.
Being a smart ass.
Yeah, you would have a map, and what you would also know is that the Twilight Citadel is not only the home of Eli, but it is the home of the Zealous Order itself. It's twofold.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's kind of like, that's an easier place to get to because the Zealous Order has traveled there and back.
I was thinking of how you described it last time. And I was like, I don't know.
It
if
is,
we can
but
all
that's
do
what
that.
you assumed.
Yeah.
Right, that's what was described to you upon the assumption of the knowledge that you had at the time and the circumstances. Now you are being given, yeah.
The load.
Cedric Gore, the Zealous Order, and the Twilight Citadel have all been in cahoots for a long time.
Who rode Galewing?
Sareth the Pale, Ithrin's daughter.
Never mind.
Well,
Why? You mean who took Galway?
No. Who
Somebody
rode?
used to
Oh, as a
ride
knight?
them.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have they been
You
already?
you're the anomaly. You're the one that took one of the god beasts and fought like with them personally.
I thought we all fought with them.
No, you fought alongside them.
Okay.
You were the only one to have a true kinship with one of the god beasts that transcended
mind.
just like we're fighting alongside one another. No, you rode Night River into battle.
What I was
Amazing.
thinking was one of the keys, if they're still alive, could also assist us in getting Galewing back.
well,
But if they
Any
didn't
of the
ride
keys could, because any of them, there's a familial bond with all of you. What you need to look at as you look at, and you know in your heart, like which of the keys, as you've seen the things around you change, they are like your brothers and sisters. So that's the worst part of it.
based on the information that I have, it might be prudent for us to first travel east and then work our way west. We are rather far east in the Hooklands, especially here down south. And if you would like to see your brother, I think that might be a good place to start.
You know, I think that would be a good place to start, actually.
I think we should check into Galewing and see what's happened there, and
Well,
then go
yes.
down to visit Jophiel's brother to get more information. Because if the other 13 can be of help, and since they are being hunted, as she's mentioned, we need to try to protect them, because the more that fall, the stronger that Ithrin.
Well, the issue is, if we show up, to Galewing's Godspark with only one, with memory loss, that could go incredibly poorly.
I would say that is that you know that the Twilight Citadel holds the last piece of what you're missing. You would know that. You feel like you're almost there, but you're missing just something a little bit more.
I don't think we have to visit where Galewing resided. More of visit where he was held and Veil touched. Maybe get some clues as to what took place there, so we can try to reverse it.
The altar also, because there's two locations.
Yeah.
There's the Godspark location and the actual altar. So on the map where it says Galewing the Storm Griffin, that's the altar, and that's along Aliendel's Crossing, which does go west
Yes.
over the crossing toward Wraithul.
The Gadspark is to the east.
The Gadspark is kind of like northeast.
Yeah.
Up toward the Bay of the Islet.
It's close
so.
to Wayfarer's Rest, actually.
Yep. Well, the ruins of.
Yes. Well, don't tell Toby that.
Sorry, Toby.
Fuck!
What was the Bay of the Islet? It had the vault, right?
Yes,
The Crimson Hold.
The Islet Wharf?
Yeah.
Yep.
which is where he's held.
Yeah.
Yep.
He or
So
she.
we'd be backtracking.
Yeah, essentially.
check.
We can either go north around the mountain to get to the Twilight Citadel, or we can go.
It really depends on if you want to go to the Twilight Citadel first and then loop around to the Forest of the Galleon, or go to the Forest Galleon first and then loop around to the
Yes.
Twilight Citadel.
Yeah. I almost.
That's what you have to kind of figure. If that's the course of the party. Ian, for your character, of course, anywhere near the islet, the Bay of the Islet, will get you to a ship that you've been given, by the way, not just the Oleander, but you've been gifted literally the Wind Rider or the Onibaro Sisters ship to aid you in your travels eventually as well. So
We're gonna go to pick up a ship, and the fucking Wind Rider's gonna be gone, and the
that's literally-
Oleander will be sitting there.
because
Like,
Ian's leaving the campaign in a couple weeks, that's his main story quest close. Cedric's new
Yeah.
ship in the Islet Wharf.
Yeah.
So that's one that he can do in the next couple of weeks. So
Pretty stoked.
yep.
Yeah, I almost forgot what my character's doing. I don't give a fuck where we go. I'm just here to see the world.
You do have a
we
main.
do
Elkarth would
really
give you
whatever.
kind of a main thing, but I would say that that's how I kind of design these. Is like you can tell which ones are going to progress a main plot line and which ones are going to be much more nonchalant, and who the hell knows what's going to happen.
To be fair, Rylal has no direction. He's going to follow you guys
Yeah.
until he figures out what he's going to
Yeah,
do.
and we're kind of playing this kind of like outside the box, much less in RP, and kind of talking amongst each other. And that's the fun part of it too.
Yeah, I have a direction. I just don't.
The only side quest I had is way up north. So
Yeah, mine's on the west coast.
On the west. Oh no! It's like a Kendrick Drake beef all over again.
Oh,
shit.
Then we need to go straight west.
Yep.
Immediately.
You right? Hey, we are actually on the west side, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all fine. You gonna win. We'll see.
there's also somebody needs bread. Someone needs cheese. We'll do something
Oh,
simple.
yes.
Someone needs flour and not the one that you just see on the ground.
That poor bitch really was
You want to take Toby shopping?
was pretty mad about that imitation
Toby
cheese.
deserved a shopping trip.
Toby does.
Toby, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
his-
that's okay.
He lost
put
the
up
whole
with
Toby-
it.
tavern
on
did
our
Toby and
watch.
Elkarth has joined your guys' group,
Oh, they're the.
Oh, sweet.
They're the
and Jeremy. So
camp
they're with you.
companions.
Oh yeah,
Got
yeah.
the tavern keep
Jeremy
and
lots
his
of head
winch.
scratches.
Yep.
We got
You
a
have,
mimic
you have
for
a
a
mobile
door.
tavern and a mobile forge. You have two means of making money while venturing. That was Alex's whole kind of point. That's what we were gonna do tonight, but you're not here, God damn it. So
Well,
So what-
Jophiel. Oh,
What
sorry.
does Rylal know from Brooke at this point?
you talking about your issue?
Just in general.
Over the month, there's several witch doctors and other individuals that do come to you. The problem is they don't find anything wrong with you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and it's one of those things is if you know, it's one of those like, hey doc, I know something's wrong, and they're just like, you're fine, you're great.
You're being
Ultra
gaslit by your doctors?
You
Gaslight
you would
myself.
I would say that you would know that you would need someone probably more akin to your homeland. You're not gonna find a lot of what's going on. Yep, unfortunate.
Alright.
Voltec approved.
Yeah, you need to.
Sable approved, what do you mean?
You need to progress through the map to find out what comes next.
Fantastic.
Xyrra would ask Jophiel, would you prefer to go to the Citadel first, or would you prefer to go and visit the Scad Spark?
I say it really depends.
It does.
It really
Depends on
depends.
which way we go out of here.
Well, she want to go through the mountains.
Well, there's a little pass up.
There's a path through both sides.
Yeah.
So
If I was given the option, I would like to make an intelligence check or refer to either Cedric or Alex about what direction would be most traveled by, or like is there a solid path first?
both. So just general knowledge over if you were to just kind of
Like I wouldn't know.
if you were to try and you would because you've walked this world for 3 centuries.
Yeah, the
Okay.
land's still the land, no
There
matter what
there
they call
is
it.
so Aliandal's Crossing. Aliandal's Crossing is named that because it has this kind of dugout path through the mountain. It is very similar in the Fortin Hills to get to the eastern side. There are paths carved out through the mountains that they can expedite you either way. There's actually roads on the map now. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
can
I
see
can see
them.
them.
Kind of see them.
Yeah. They're
Where it kind
dark,
of
but-
yeah, they are dark. You kind of have to really zoom and look. But where it kind of ends on one side of the Fortin Hills and begins on the other, that's because there's kind of like a tunneled way through the mountains. Going through the Fortin Hills will be just as quick as going through Aliandal's Crossing, which will be just as quick as going up the Lindahl Trail. Either of them is pretty straightforward marching. You guys literally have... The only question that I would have is if you were going to the other side of Aliandal's Crossing, whether or not you went through the crossing or you went the long way, which intercedes with Elmodan's part of his walk, like down at the base of the mountain. To go up the Lindahl Trail, to go through Aliandal's Crossing, to go across the Fortin Hills, will all be just as fast and just as much mileage as it portrays on the map itself.
Yeah.
As two people, me and Dawnkeeper traversed Aliandal's Crossing on
Yeah,
the way here.
it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's literally
peaceful. Lots of people, actually.
It's literally
surprisingly.
it's literally like a fucking purple worm like carved its way through the mountain. But then dwarves went back and made it pretty. And there's like overhangs and braziers, and you can walk up top and kind of see the skylight at the night. It is a beautiful way. And the same thing in the Fortin Hills, but it's not as wide and as long.
Yeah, is Fortin Hills, does it have big stone doors?
Fortin Hills, the Fortin Hills, no, it's very much more open, and it has a lot more of the sea that's kind of eroded its way in. So it's a lot more like springs and like pools of water. Like as you're traveling, you can stop and take
Still
a dip
beautiful.
type stuff. Yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Fortin Hills is much more scenic. Aliandal's Crossing is much more like a dwarven kind of getaway through the mountains. With like sun or stars overhead.
It's a toll bridge.
Yeah, no, it really is. It really is. So, yep. Yeah, those little Brackens literally went in a hole, and we're stopped on the other side. So, yeah.
I mean, the real question for you, Jophiel, is how urgent do you feel the need to get the last bit of information from your brother?
Well, and that's why I did bring it up to you. Those that the doors were broken were your immediate siblings that had perished. It seems that Ithrin targeted your siblings immediately.
Yeah, and he's going to keep targeting them. He's probably already
Well, they're all
targeted-
dead. They're all dead.
Yeah.
You're the only one left of your immediate siblings.
Oh, so the 12 are dead already.
Did you read the?
Not all
No.
12.
No, not all the 12.
The
but
4 that are your siblings.
yeah, did you read? Look at the note. So look under the children of Serenity and Aolin.
Yeah.
So Eli, who's alive, Jophiel, you're alive. Iliel, Miriel, Urian, and Kalor are all dead.
Yeah.
Those are the doors that were broken.
Mm-hmm.
Those members are dead. You and Eli are the only one left of your immediate siblings.
The rest are just your cousins.
The rest of the 13 are, cousins. All your siblings are dead other than Eli.
So the next one he's going after is Eli.
Maybe.
Probably.
You don't know.
You
So
Allegedly.
all I'm saying is, like, if you're gonna bring up the idea of urgency to
Yeah.
aid your character, because we've all been drinking a lot tonight, to aid your character into picking a way to go. When she would ask you how urgent is it, you would be like, well, I know that literally
All of my brother's dead.
4 of my siblings are dead. One of them is alive. So I just don't want you to make a choice and regret it later, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because once you guys leave this place, like, the clock does start ticking. For better or ill. I'm not going to say what will happen regardless. But make your decision based on your character's emotions. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I know. I get it. Jophiel doesn't have her whole memory. She doesn't.
well,
so.
I didn't. I'll be honest. Andrea didn't put the 2 pieces together that those were her direct siblings and not just other pieces.
It's
of
okay.
the
I just
13.
handed you these pieces of paper tonight. So
now understanding that those are my direct siblings, but also it just seemed like the only pathway she should go is to go see your brother. Make sure he hasn't been perished. He hasn't perished as well.
How is your character's emotions about this? You panicked? Rushed? How do you feel?
you get to pick, honey.
Yeah.
They are your emotions.
You get to pick.
I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time
choice.
judging myself. That's why
Yeah.
I'm really trying to make sure she understands.
Yeah, those are tough calls when they're tight like it.
I think there's panic there. To be honest,
Yeah.
Okay.
there is some panic.
A
There
panic
is-
to Jophiel?
there.
Holy shit.
There is some panic because the pieces didn't fit quite whenever we went to go get the Heart of the Veil before, and then now it's blatant.
Sinking in.
It's sinking in that he's literally targeting the people that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And would you share this information with everybody else?
You
Because I would assume that we don't know who these people are in regards
this
to
Not-
is
not
this is
immediate, yeah.
downside kind of all the party planning outside of RP type stuff. So
I think as we start to debate our next location, I would keep bringing up the fact that he is targeting the 13, and that is, although Eli isn't one of the 13, I believe
enigma.
he'd be the next one
To be targeted.
to be targeted. Unfortunately,
to the rest of you, though, I would say.
but this is uncharacteristic of her. She seems very pushy. Like,
Yeah.
she can be pushy at times, but usually it's
uncharacteristically
Yeah.
for now.
yeah.
To the rest of you, you would also point out that it is. Actually, I'm not going to just give it to you. Continue. No.
Okay.
No, I think it would be more interesting if you guys put it together yourselves instead of me
Well,
just handing it to you.
I mean,
and it's just in regards to Eli.
But she would also say, if anyone says, well, then she'd be like, well, the rest of the 13, I mean, if we save Eli, who can wake everyone else up, then we will save the rest of everyone, potentially.
Yeah, I mean, you've talked to us, at least me, Cedric, and Dawnkeeper about Eli before.
She's
Yeah.
also mentioned
About your
it
dream.
to us,
Yeah,
just briefly, but nothing in detail, but
Yeah.
enough to know that that's where she would like to go.
Yeah. Even if you mentioned the slightest chance of, like, oh shit, like, I just realized, like, that was 1, 2, 3. Fuck.
4 out of 5 siblings gone.
It wouldn't take a whole
I
lot of
think-
convincing.
I think
Yeah.
with the basic intelligence check, someone could realize that those were my siblings.
Well, I mean, I would already know
Yeah.
because I would have.
There's
poured
no
over
checks
that.
reading. There's no checks
Yeah.
reading or needed reading. Because the fact is each of you have been given this handout. Each of you over the course of a month would be able to read it.
Yeah.
I would have poured over it extensively, so I would realize.
So,
I
yeah.
think Xyrra would have spent the month making sure that each of you understand the handout that the
Probably.
dungeon master has given you.
Welcome to
That is
Xyrra's
a
classroom.
good. That is a good way to think about it.
This is your
each
homework
of
for the
you
day.
know this inside and out.
I
What-
probably lectured about it.
Yeah, she had a
multiple
class.
times.
She had a class with like, and she was projecting images.
We paid like
on
300
the
gold
wall.
for this.
Parrots,
just for free.
not gold. You
Parrots.
some bitch.
Oh, Paris, sorry.
But
For this.
knowing if
But
you
here's-
when you had expressed that, I would say, well, I believe that it is our best course to head straight for Eli. Then I will
It's-
also, Jophiel, I will follow you wherever you decide to go. You are one of the 13, and again, it's honestly an honor to call you one of my friends.
Malaus, you have my axe. I'll follow you.
That was very sweet of both of you. We've also tried these things. And she says, no, I follow you.
You were not wrong.
She looks
It's
towards
weird.
Cedric as everyone else has spoken their keep.
I like that. What is Cedric's? Yeah, what is Cedric's
yeah.
input on all of this? Where do you want to go, my friend? You're the one that's not going to be here in a couple weeks. You got to influence this in some way.
Yeah, you got a few more. Any close-up bullshit you want to take care of?
I don't think I got a huge preference, to be honest. I plan on walking these paths to
Are you
enlighten
okay?
myself and become a more whole person.
Are you okay with me pushing the narrative for Cedric in that way, that over the course of the immediate future, that's what you're heading toward, is going toward walking the paths?
Yeah, I think given the inconsistency in his life, he's looking for just truth, you know? And
Some
I think
answers.
he thinks he'll find that on these 3 paths.
Because I believe Ian's going to be gone, like, what was it? I did the math on the other
12
day.
or 16
I think
It's like 12 sessions, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it's like 10 weeks is what.
Yeah, so
So on
10,
the low
10
end,
to
it's
12,
10 weeks.
10 to 12
Yeah.
sessions. So that is, considering we are at session 15, you're
Yeah.
talking about a whole nother level. So you would have to, like, think about which path you would like to sail toward. But I would say for the party, for fun, and to aid in Cedric's eventual kind of like stepping away for a little bit, he eventually does need to end up at the Islet Wharf. And that's a bit that's a bit metagamey and pushy by the DM. But I think that with your current path, as long as you can get to the sea, whether you go east or west, north, it can work.
I feel like we head to the Citadel and,
And
then
then-
make our
and
way
then
back
loop
up
around.
towards,
Loop
come
around
back to
north.
Gale, come back
I think
to
we
Gale
can.
Wings, Scout
Yeah,
Star.
I think we can definitely make
Yeah.
that work for the next
Yeah.
3. I think it's 3 sessions from here, before Ian's gone. We could go either way. So, but is that? Here's the thing, Ian's gonna be leaving. No offense, Ian. Mr. Cedric, the party can. You guys can do whatever you want because
I'm
no
fine with
matter
that.
what, I can make a rock fall and then Cedric
Everyone dies?
gets pushed
Oh, okay.
to wherever he needs to be.
Walking through
if
the
you,
hills,
If
roll
you
there.
guys want to go I just don't want you to make a decision based upon that. And Ian would understand too.
Well, I also
So-
feel like when you talk about the Twilight Citadel, you also say it is the headquarters of the Zealous
Zealous.
Order. So I think there will be some initial, like Ian will have some good RP to delve into.
I would hope
that.
so. Yeah, but if not, then
And
that
then
is what it is.
Towards the end, we get to the Islet Wharf or the Bay of the Islet, and he'll get even more.
Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I can't just
how-
reveal it.
Yeah, I think
know,
that
I
the
just-
best course is to go straight to the Citadel and then
Get your memories back.
Get your memories back, and then afterwards loop around north, go by the Gadspark.
You want
and
to
then,
you want to full memory it up, Jophiel?
Yes, yes, I do.
Yes, we do.
You think that Xyrra doesn't want to pick her brain after she's full memory Jophiel? Absolutely.
I would describe Jophiel as I writ her before she was taken over by Andrea, because it was pure happenstance that this happened.
Yeah.
Is vastly different than what Andrea portrays her as.
I've had like
She's getting
two
closer.
difference.
Yeah, you're getting closer. You're almost there. You really are. Like the indifference is great, but the compassion part is a little odd compared to how I read her. Just wait until you meet like the true version. So, but anyway, so the idea, as I'm hearing it, is we're gonna go east.
Yep.
Okay,
Directly
over
east.
through the Fort Hills.
Yep.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. Is there anything else that you would like to do in Duskendale before heading east?
Well, does Cedric want to choose a new leader?
Cedric, I think that is
Protector.
so. Who would you like to put in charge of Duskendale in your absence? Because we're talking about an extended absence. So you have Alina,
Darian.
Brother Darian. You have
Jork.
Sir Lorik.
Lork.
Oh, he's not ready.
I mean, he.
Wait, can we ask Sir
subbed
Lord
in
to
last
roll
time.
us?
His heart's in the right place, but I don't know if he's ready for that.
I actually have a stat block ready for Ian
I
for
recall-
Sir Lorik to be a follower of him
I-
if you want him to adventure with you. But it's much more like, who do you leave Duskendale in the hands of?
Yeah.
Because this might be the last time that you see Duskendale, Cedric / Ian, until you return. So it would be completely up to you. And
Yeah.
it can be. Here's the thing too. You do have Rook. If Rook does need a home base, you do have Kaylin. You do have Nalia. You have
Brunica.
yeah, Brunica too. This is literally the Hooklands Alliance.
Would Cecil stay there?
Castiel?
Cassiel.
Or would he go
I
back
haven't,
to...
me personally, as Castiel, as I'm RPing him, he hasn't quite decided yet because of how Cedric has reacted.
I don't know that Cedric
Yeah.
would leave him in charge.
So,
anyway.
if you
Yeah, I don't know that I would pick him.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm throwing it out there.
if you were to go that direction of Castiel, kind of make this your base of operations, he would definitely go for it. But as a tribute to you and your character, I'll let you decide kind of who takes leadership of Duskendale, and it can be any of the aforementioned NPCs. It is important. Like, you may think this is a menial choice, but it's really important. So it's up to you.
Sorry,
Well,
I
I
put you on
guess-
the spot, but you know.
No, it's a
like-
great question.
The two that kind of jump off the page to me would be Rook and Nalia, one of the two.
But which? And you would have a
Yeah.
month to decide, but you'll only minutes in RP life. Both are really good choices.
Yeah.
I would say.
If I saw you considering it,
Yeah. If you guys, how about you guys have a conversation with Cedric about this? I think it'd be really good. Go ahead. I have to pee anyway.
I mean, we've seen all your lead, and Rook has these social issues on his plate. But not saying that he can't cover both. He fought two god beasts and bested them in combat.
He
Surely,
did that just fine.
yeah, surely this is This talking is just simple stuff to him.
Vrook is already a High Lord in his own land, which carries weight. I don't know if Sorborg's independence has reached the mainland or not. Vrook
That's
would
my main concern,
Vrook
is
would-
how serious of a leader she would be taken as for
Well,
being from Sorborg.
I have put in good word to some pretty good people that there may be some ships already headed that way.
Maybe, but Vrook's status is already established.
Okay, let me rephrase it. They're already on the way. There's no maybe. I would almost guarantee he sent them.
My own opinion is that I know Nalia much better than I know Vrook. And while he's not a bad person, I trust her more than I trust Vrook, just out of knowing her. And I believe that she would be an honorable leader of Duskendale, and that she would lead them in a way that would bring peace. Because
A
of
gentle leadership.
Yes.
Well,
Do we need gentle in these times?
one with honor and respect, though, too?
Yes.
She.
That's such a
Here,
Rylal thing to say.
let's do this, Rylal. You go tell her that she's gentle and see how well it works.
Would you like me to?
Sure.
See,
I would
how
approach.
gentle she
I would
is.
approach Nalia, wherever she is.
Not gentle. If you want to have a conversation with you, I will give it to you.
No, it's fine.
Depending upon if she is Cedric's choice.
That would be funny.
I feel like Vrook is High Lord, and with that carries weight in all the lands, regardless of how northern, southern, eastern, or western we may venture. And Nalia, being as close as she is already through her own connections to Sorborg, I believe she may be able to reach the people a little bit better, be able to gather allies from her own lands a little bit better, and be able to establish a prominent structure in this area just a little bit better than Vrook, who may be more mobile and command leadership throughout the lands regardless of where he's at.
Yes. I feel like she would be the more neutral option.
So let me spin this for you. Why not both? Let Vrook command the soldiers and the warriors, and let Nalia be the one to handle the people.
Well, I mean, I guess that shouldn't be a problem. I figured Brooke would probably endorse her anyways. They're already traveling together.
If gentle is what you need, and you don't want Vrook to be in the spotlight, there is need for commanders within the army.
It's not so much that one is more gentle than the other, but you also need to give one a time to shine. If Rook keeps running every city, he
We'll
can't,
have a
he can't do it
monopoly.
all.
But I understand what Rylal speaks of. Dual leadership may be ideal until one can be groomed to establish the leadership afterwards.
I see.
And maybe that might be the best idea. Neither leader should maintain a post here, but both can help rebuild in the preparation of one to finally have the final say upon it.
Well, any good leader I've seen usually asks if they have a problem.
Yes.
They seek confidence in those that they respect. And I would say that she respects Brooke, and it shouldn't be too much of a problem.
All leaders, all good leaders, definitely listen to their advisors. So,
So why not set up an advisor board? Why not have, rather than one leader, have multiple that
Come and go.
That- talk with each other, command what they do best,
decide together.
decide together. Now, it may not be what Aelin wants for the entire realm, but for now,
In Duskendale.
this is a way to unite the people.
How do you envision Duskendale looking when you're gone, Cedric?
Democracy.
We should let the people decide, shall we? Interesting choice.
Cedric, if you didn't want to
Considering
leave it
our predicament.
into one of their hands, you could choose some of the people within the city to take up the role together if you wish.
I do like the idea of maybe a council and less of one sole leader.
Would you rather it be those that were released from or saved by your father instead of an outsider? Kind of those that are still alive? The mayor was slain within the conflict, but all the other NPCs are available.
I think I would like a more eclectic group.
Okay.
People from different areas that might be here. So like Nalia is from like Sorborg.
That is a good idea.
Or Rook.
And then someone like Rook, who's also not from here. And then someone from Duskendale.
More like, yeah, okay. Okay, so you choose kind of a few individuals within the area that kind of tend over it.
A medley of the surrounding areas. Like a representative from maybe different.
Nalia very much an outsider. Rook very much keen to this kind of lifestyle, but then someone of Duskendale
Like brother.
specifically. I would say that the best way for you, Cedric, would be to probably choose Priestess Alina or
Yeah.
Brother Darian.
Or why not both?
He would have to choose one if he's going kind of
Then
keeping
their
it
votes wouldn't
even.
be equal.
Right.
Yeah.
So, would you choose a follower of Alile or a follower of Elmadan? That's the curiosity there. That's a good one. And this actually will have impact later on. So, Alile is Alina, Elmadan, Darian. So, your choice.
Darian.
I know you haven't had a chance to really RP with either, but they very much uphold the principles.
You have Darian on Alile.
Oh, do I have it backwards?
I don't.
as
I
I
don't see the priestess on here.
Oh, Priestess Lena? Wow, yeah. Fucking Legend Keeper. My old lore.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. As I have it in true, and I'll fix it. My apologies. Alina is a cleric, and then Darian is a warlock, so it'd be reversed to what you're seeing. So
Okay.
that may actually help you.
Yeah, Elmadan's the warlocky ones, right?
Yeah, but they're much more wizardy than warlock.
Yeah, they fall heavily
So,
under magic.
think of it flip-flopped.
Go to Alina.
Yep.
Okay.
I would go Alina in that case.
So Vrook, Nalia, and Alina.
We have taken the triumvirate and turned it into the trio.
What do you want to call this?
Oh,
Fuck
fuck.
yeah.
Nolly of Sorborg. Vrook of the
Remember,
Blasted Lands, essentially.
Nalia is
And then Alina.
more akin to the god beasts because of the way Sorborg was.
It is still a rule of three, and I do like that. I do like the fact that Cedric went that way, even though the world in what Aeolin wants is not that way anymore.
Well, I mean,
you know,
that's-
like
you-
working together.
You draw
That's
on
a
what you know.
fun. That's a fun idea.
The trio of Alora.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, I like it. I like it.
You know, how else are you supposed to bring unity other than making people work with each other?
Yeah.
Um,
Unless you want a dictator, we can do that, but no.
Gotcha.
Someone said democracy. Here we go. Checks and balances.
You did say democracy, sir.
Hey, we doing it right.
Perfect.
So even though the party has talked, Ian, Cedric, about where they want to go, because of the circumstances, you actually get to be the final say. So, where would you like to go? Are you akin to their wants? Do you want to go
Yeah.
east toward the Citadel?
Yeah, that's my idea.
Yeah.
I know it's your
Do it.
idea, but
Let's
the
do
thing
it.
is he's leaving in a couple weeks, so I would have let him override everyone if he would have chose so.
He's like, we're going due north. We're going to fight everybody by ourselves.
You guys
Boom.
get to play 12 sessions without him, so of course I'm gonna like let him get a little bit of like, you know, a little
Say.
bit of something, a little bit of
A little
say.
something in there.
If he would have been like, well, but he didn't. See, he sided with you.
Hey, we
Are
can
you
go-
happy?
Yeah.
We could go back to the seal and get our revenge.
Fuck yeah, let's go. that's a personal storyline to Alex.
Yeah, I was looking at it.
So that's a
Yeah.
good one. I got really cool
don't-
battle maps and everything for that.
Yeah, I don't
so
know if we'd actually make it back. So
You never know.
I was reading the description. That does not
What?
sound fun.
Yeah, I read a lot of those descriptions. Like, yeah, no.
Jophiel's not happy about the Dungeon Master's saying that, is she?
No. I was concentrating really hard on an idea that I was gonna potentially bring up.
What is it?
but
Go
I
ahead,
wanted
do
to
it.
bring-
No, do it.
This is yeah.
This is very much we all had a bad
Do it.
fucking week and we're just having fun.
All right. So there was something that you brought up once or twice already.
Don't
if-
listen to me.
Listen to him.
I've been
Listen to him,
feeding you
yes.
guys false
Okay,
histories for a
so
long time.
I just want to this is like something I want to say right before we set off on our adventure.
Right, so we know where we're going, but at the last
Yeah.
minute, Joe feels like, "Hey, so
Maybe we should.
No, I just wanted to bring up. Do I understand that Ithrin has a special agenda against or about me?
I would hope.
I mean, I would.
The rest of your allies are very keen on this, so yeah, I would say that you're starting to understand that he has a agenda against you
Ithrin
specifically.
wants you
Vendetta.
dead.
Dead or something else.
But
Yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying. Do I understand the other part? 'Cause I don't know if it's been talked about yet, or is that something that that I don't understand
no,
until
I
afterwards?
would think that you would speculate.
Yeah, you don't know what his plan is.
You don't know what his plan is. You don't know what it is.
But,
You can only speculate.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know. If you're asking me if you know it, then no, of course you don't. You won't know until he tells you. But can you speculate upon your own feelings and thoughts about it? Then yeah.
Oh, okay.
Your
Then-
brothers and sisters lay dead at his or his
Followers.
cabal's
And you
feet.
and your youngest brother still live.
Yeah.
And he had every chance to kill you and he didn't.
Yep.
And we played a session last weekend that was not recorded where he was criticized. So I will allow you to metagame ever so slightly and to take that information with
Well,
you.
yeah, you got to think this is this is literally all about you. The government you set up, he destroyed it.
This is
He's
literally
killed your
all
fucking
about
family.
you. I love that.
He wants you fucked up, like all the way fucked up.
Yeah.
But he hasn't killed you,
Yeah.
and he probably has the
So-
chance to do such.
Yeah.
Xyrra would.
He's had many.
Xyrra would speculate that Ithrin wants you begging on your knees.
Or he needs.
God damn!
I'd say he probably
Not
needs you
that way.
twisted for something.
Well, I mean, you know.
But also,
Are you sure
Not
about that?
that way, but kind of that way.
Like I don't know what key that you are to him, but you are a key. And I don't know what he has to do to shape you into it, but he's going to or trying to.
Oh, Lord.
Grind down some teeth.
God damn.
We're having fun tonight.
we are.
We're going to keep it right here.
Oh, let's get back to it.
The only other thing that I would say before we left Duskendale, I would probably hunt down Rebecca and just
Rebecca.
pay my respects to her, and there would be curtsying involved.
I will allow you. I will make a note of it right now that you will have a very fun RP encounter with Rebecca that we will retroactively
Okay.
with Shawn here
Okay.
go through.
All right,
100% because
I would know her.
you
So-
would. Yeah, and I want that to it would be so much more fun
Yeah,
if
I
Shawn was here to be like she
I
what?
agree.
So I don't want to.
no,
I
no.
don't want to play them both because I hate doing that.
That's
I did it
fine.
with Ian once and I didn't like it. With Ian's character once and I didn't like it.
That's fine.
I think I will
completely
save that.
understand.
I will save that encounter for
When we're
for
both-
next week
yeah.
when you're both here.
Would Rylal know that Valenthius would hate his ass?
No,
No, no, not really.
I brought it up once.
Well, it would be much more
Very
of,
casually,
like,
though.
Yeah.
So maybe
The
that was
elders
forgotten.
of that city, if they knew who you were, they would greatly dislike you. But
that would be the one city that I would be like, you need to act like Lebrakian.
You have assumed that
So-
everybody don't like you though.
the main story quests kind of on the map are as follows, and it starts with like Memories of the Heart Part 1,
Yeah.
which is Everett, and you guys can tiptoe around this for a while. That the part 2 goes to Zuldamon's Marsh, which you guys haven't seen that exclamation point yet.
Yeah.
And then to the Praying Bell, and then to the actual Eladar Conclave, and then to Ophius, and then to Valenthius.
Yeah.
So it all kind of leads to that one dot that you guys do see, which is the Hooklands Alliance.
Yeah.
If you guys want to progress the main plot, that is the way. Until then, you guys have plenty of time to do whatever else you would like.
Yeah.
If you want to aggress it, then go be my guest.
We do
But
this every campaign.
I would encourage. Yeah, I know you do. I know you do. That's what I'm saying. I know you do. And there's been a lot of in talking amongst everyone about pacing and such. And this is really me driving it home. If you want it to last longer than any
You
other
gotta
campaign
make
we've run, you have to make it.
You don't touch the main quest. You go do little side quests.
I
Yeah.
Have you not
literally,
played Skyrim?
for people ever listening, in Legend Keeper, and I know you may not know what that is, but it's literally a campaign management tool where I have a map where I put fucking exclamation marks on like a goddamn World of Warcraft quest book.
Yeah.
Where they can like see what is main quest and what is not.
It is very detailed.
It's easily
I detailed
as
it.
full as Skyrim map.
Yeah, I
Yes.
tried my best, and they're doing. It looks like they're doing the good Lord's work, and they're gonna go.
Or the quest master.
They're gonna go on a story quest that leads to a bunch of side quests.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Let's
saying.
go.
I follow where the quest.
There's another
markers
Jophiel quest
take
out
me.
to the east too.
There
by
is,
the
I
way.
saw
Straight
that.
up the mountain.
Yeah. So I'm super stoked for that. So
Did they go up? Did they go right?
I mean,
Yeah.
that
Get my
could
horse.
that could
Keep
be
going up,
triggered
up, up.
by whatever Eli has to say.
right,
as
of
well.
course. You don't
Yeah.
know. You don't know.
So-
You don't
I
know.
go up it.
So
And it seems that there's also a key over there.
Wait, where's
yeah, the keys
Oh, wait.
are the keys
That was
are
Jophiel. Never mind.
representative of
So-
where the statues
Eli.
of the 13 keys are.
Yeah.
Where they all froze in time.
Well,
Jophiel's
yeah.
been reawakened. Many of the other statues have been destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other statues that are not destroyed are still out there.
Yeah.
And those are literally quest icons in and of themselves, depending on where you go. But it seems like we're going to. Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
We're going to
Yeah.
the Twilight Citadel?
Yep.
So
Let's go on an adventure! Yay!
Yay!
Come on, Toby. Come on, Jeremy. And Elcar. Little
That's
Jeremy getting his head
Can you
scratches
imagine?
from me.
Can you
Fuck yeah.
imagine this
Rub his little
scratching
knob.
a door
this
frame.
brigade of adventurers?
It's a wild lot.
It is a wild lot.
It is. We have a mimic,
So,
A halfling
a halfling.
and a drunkard
Yes.
A very large drunkard.
with a small pony.
I forgot about that part.
And he can remove curses however he pleases. Except for
that art was pretty good. Elkarth is the shit, you fuckers.
oh, he's fantastic.
Oh, I love Elkarth.
We love Elkarth. We love Toby. We love Jeremy. It's all
You
good.
better. God damn it. So for funsies here, because of story relevance, as we're heading toward the Radiant Citadel, not the Radiant Citadel, the Twilight
Twilight.
Hold, the Twilight Citadel. Sorry, we're not going to Yardoon yet. I would like for Cedric and Jophiel to roll for me percentage dice, please.
Ooh.
No.
We're in danger.
You could be. Oh no, I didn't download them.
Oh
on
no,
this.
what'd you
Oh,
roll?
no.
A 3.
What'd you roll? A 3? Wow. Okay,
That's
Cedric.
really
That's impressive.
71.
Fuck.
I knew y'all would be at fucking opposite ends.
Swinging both ends. Let's see what happens.
It's up to you two. This is really fun. So, between Cedric and Jophiel, you guys get to pick whose roll counts.
Oh God.
It's up to you.
You know, I'm sorry, but I'm feeling pretty partial to the 0 to a 10 range.
Oh, you want to go divine intervention? Roll, huh?
I mean, Rogue.
I mean,
You
I'm level
two-
4, so
you-
3 would work technically if I had that.
You two have to decide.
I will keep my mouth shut.
You guys decide.
Three's fine.
All right, we're doing 3.
You want to
It's
do
the
yours?
trio. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Interesting. So,
I'm ready for combat.
well, you're not gonna get to it tonight because it's 11:47.
It is.
Come
Oh fuck yeah.
So there. That was so funny. I'm sorry.
What?
You just like to Alex. Just
I
like,
thought she was checking the time.
I was checking it now. I looked like he was just showing it off. I was like,
it
what's
was
going
so
on, bro?
Yeah, I was just
funny.
looking at shit fucking on the other side of the world.
Well, I'm gonna set up something for you.
Great.
So the ideal is that when Shawn's back next session, we will go over a few RP things with his waifu and with Toby. But the idea is that you guys have over the past month aided in crafting pretty much a small caravan of adventuring, and you've decided to head east toward the Fortin Hills, toward your brother's home.
Yep.
And the home of the Zealous Order. So, on the second day of travel, as you guys leave Duskendale, you begin to hear and smell the sea as you head east. More and more streams begin to encroach upon the road, and river paths can be seen descending the mountains in the direction toward the sea. Kind of, they're coming together. Down from the mountains, from the sea, they're eroding toward one another, and they are on either side of your path. It makes for a very beautiful scene of bright green and blue trees and moss nestled in on the smooth, round rocks.
So it's like kind of like a fjord.
Yeah, it's very serene, very beautiful. Like, you know, the sound of birds, the sound of the water in the distance. Go ahead.
I would mention that if Xyrra, if there were flowers on the side of the road, Xyrra would most likely pick some and put them in her hair.
Sure.
Adorable.
Flower child.
Yes.
It does. Yeah. It's very chill. It reminds me of home.
No, it's actually a very serene trip thus far. It's been very non-conflict. It's been very restful. But as you guys are traveling, and this will be about kind of like the 50-mile marker in toward the Fortin Hills as you start to get into the carved out area that gets you from the west side to the east side of the crossing. You come across a particularly beautiful spot where the water is carved out, a bowl within the rock, off to kind of your left side as you're walking along the road, and it's filled with this clear blue water. It's a nice place for an afternoon swim or a bath. On the sides, kind of further below the rock, it's been chipped away and it's shaded. So, like the erosion of the water itself in this bowl, like you have the top side, but then further down, the rock is kind of eroded away. And as the air kind of bounds into it and comes back, it's very cool, even though it's very kind of like warm this day. It's a very serene kind of crossing. The air just kind of hits you, and it's very refreshing. And this is kind of toward the latter end of your day, as you've gotten to this point. What would you guys like to do?
This would be a good place to set up camp for the night.
How far is it off the road?
Off the road?
Yeah.
It's not super far, but you're so deep within the crossing itself that it feels like it's way off the road.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd be safe enough here.
It's more so to the main road than it is to like you wandering off.
Yeah.
So
I like to have a perception check to check for danger, because Rylal doesn't trust nothing.
check for danger.
Danger.
Danger sense.
Danger, Will Robinson.
I think this
Danger, well, that's us.
as I've
Danger,
go ahead
danger.
and
Every
roll it.
time.
As I've kind of described it, it's one of those like we've been dealing with all this, and we finally set out, and we've gotten literally a day or two into our travels, and we think back on the Veil of the Heart and the fact that none of us have showered or bathed, and you just smell the stink of yourselves amongst the road, and when you see that watering hole, it's kind of like, damn.
That's
That-
not right.
Rylal
That
does not care.
wouldn't be so bad. What'd you roll, by the way?
12.
He don't give a shit about danger.
Okay, with a 12, no, you don't sense any immediate danger. It's been quite serene this whole time. Maybe that's off-putting to you. Maybe it's like, wow.
very off-putting to me.
Yeah, it's like, oh, nothing has tried to kill us thus far.
Leaving
My
me
question-
in the staircase.
Yeah.
Everything tried to kill me, other than the pack of cliff beasts that I made friends with.
My question to like you is as a party, do you, as you end toward kind of your latter end of travel for the day, do you pick this spot or do you move on?
I would pick the spot.
I would as well.
I feel like this is the most
Yeah, it's
natural and safest, not safest, cleanest spot we found.
Yes,
Ever.
Cedric? What'd you say?
He said
Yeah, I'm
he-
on board with this.
Yeah, he said he'd pick it too.
What about you, Everett?
Well, I'm not happy about it because it's so close to the road. And, any old fucker can just walk up. But
Would you like me to stand guard?
well, no,
They ain't gonna walk up.
It's fine.
With
Yeah.
him hulking next to the road, no one would approach.
Yeah, that's true.
Gotcha.
Don't you have to like meditate or something?
Only for 4 hours.
Don't you ever meditate or whatever?
I don't know. They're always bragging about not sleeping. I don't know what they do because I'm very much asleep.
Meditation is a good word for it.
I just
I've never
stand.
done it.
You know how you have nightmares at times?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens
Oh.
with me.
Oh, cool. So it's just like sleeping.
That's not normal, Rylal.
It's not.
That's all I have.
I'm sorry that is your experience, but no, my trances are
survived.
quite serene.
I was gonna say meditation is just a reflection of previous, memories.
Well,
if it's
if-
all terrible, then nightmares might be
Very true.
akin to it.
My
Very
best
true.
memories are with you guys. I have no best memories beyond that.
God.
Well-
I am glad to be a part of your happier memories then.
I'm just glad you guys don't hear me screaming.
You don't
is kind of an
scream.
honor.
Normally.
It's good to know.
Maybe before you fall into your meditative trance, you should think upon those around you, and you will find you'll be more rested when you wake, or
That's very true. You should try that.
become conscious.
I find the memories of my past life what drive me to continue on this path.
Scared to get rid of it, are you?
Seems that way.
Scared, not scared.
Well,
More so hardened.
Those were
Right.
choice words. Whitlock.
They were.
They were.
Do you have something you're scared of?
No, it was a poor choice of words.
I would
That's fair.
say I don't know if I know many things that would scare us one, such as heat, if any.
Well, I know of one thing, but I will keep it to myself.
I understand how powerful a driver it can be. But you can stay motivated without it.
Remember how you made the comment that scars tell a story and that's how you learn?
Mm-hmm.
If you've noticed, my body is not scarred beyond my missing finger. So how do you think I keep recollection of my memories? And
You make a very good point.
thank you.
But I've seen you hit. I've seen you mortally hit.
He is very strong.
No, this is something more than that. And strength doesn't heal you like that.
That's true. I do trust you, though,
I'm like
Rylal.
okay strong, and I've got fucking big scars.
Yeah. I doubt the scars on your body match the scars that are beneath my skin.
They had it. Wait. Is this some weird elf, like, biology I don't understand? Like your skin is inside out?
Drow
No.
culture. I
Good
believe.
God.
No. We had very good healers, so the outside markings were
Removed.
covered
Yes.
and healed.
I see.
If you'd like, Jophiel could probably put her hand on my skin and sense the damage that's been done to this body.
I mean, I believe you. It's not a. That's what I'm saying. It's not always a competition.
I'm not trying to compete.
Right, but that's why it's hard to let go. Because if you were, then where's the drive? What keeps you walking down this path?
What stops me from taking this axe and slicing my own throat with it?
Right.
Those memories do. And the fact that Sable's my goddamn father.
I mean, trust me. I understand where you're coming from, but there's other reasons to walk the path.
I haven't found them yet.
You're sitting with them. You
You
just said
are.
it. You won't realize it until we're probably long gone, but one day
Maybe
you will.
you. I'm pretty sure these others live longer.
He's like, hey, these sissies.
I mean, to be fair, I have almost perished multiple times. Did you not feel sadness when I fell unconscious during battle?
Not sadness, guilt.
Worry.
Ah.
The fact that my strength could not protect you bothers me. The fact that my own strength cannot push me beyond these mortal limits bothers me. However, since you all wish to rest, let's rest. I can stay and watch.
Hi, other human. Is it bedtime? Cedric?
It feels like it.
Oh, thank God. I'm so tired.
It feels like it, friend.
Who would like to keep first watch?
Rylal.
Rylal?
I would
Okay.
I would take over for the second half of the night.
All right, Rylal, give me a perception check.
You ain't gonna do your whole. I don't sleep.
She didn't speak up.
I mean, if the elves are taking care of it, that's 8 hours. I don't have to deal with it.
That's fair.
I'll offer up a shift if it's
The new
She's like,
Jophiel
hell
is
yeah.
very straight to the point.
I get
Like,
to
I don't give a
read
fuck.
a book.
17.
I'll take the
17.
full 8.
So
Fucking great.
How about you just sit there for 4 hours?
I dig it.
you guys kind of find respite among this side road near this kind of eroded pool of water. It's very serene. And as you settle in and conversate through the evening, eventually much of you fade off. Eventually to where you guys are kind of either asleep or meditating, and Rylal begins to kind of navigate his way amongst the outskirts of this. You guys are essentially a caravan, essentially. Rylal, as you meander about, you begin to hear something, muddled, distant, from below that pool of water off to the side. And you kind of walk over and look, and the water is so clear that about 20 or 30 feet down at the bottom of the pool, you can see what appears to be a small, humanoid, blue-green creature. And you kind of kneel and look. It has a fin across the top of its head that comes down between its eyes. Its hands and arms are quite chunky, though, like a baby's. Its legs are that kind of cute, chunky, baby-like legs. And it sings this soft melody that is quite entrancing. In its hands is a blue pearl that glows with an arcane hue. And as you kind of look down and you continue to watch, you can now see that there are other creatures within this pool of water, heading toward this child, this baby. A frog-like humanoid about 5 feet in length or so, holding a crude axe. On the opposite side, another, but this one holding a crude spear. They flank both sides of this small child, moving in slowly, as if they're about to pounce on it. What would you like to do?
Rylal would go into a rage upon hearing the song, only because of past experiences and what he's gone through, to make sure that there's nothing to force him to do something he doesn't want to do.
Understood. You didn't feel any compulsion from the song. It was much more interest and curiosity about these two kind of frog-like humanoids that are encroaching upon this small baby merfolk, as you see it. So you rage.
Rage and just watch. I'm not going to intervene at all.
So if you do not intervene, as you said, you watch as the two frog-like creatures get really close, and then one on the side thrusts out a net and pulls it toward it as the baby begins to scream, and the other one moves closely and grabs it by the neck and pulls a dagger. Feel free to stop me at any point here. And if not, it stabs it into the heart. You just watch it happen.
Just watching.
And the pearl begins to float to the top. And that's where we will end tonight's session.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's some cold-hearted shit.
That was cold, but it happened.
It's a cycle
It
of
happened.
nature, you know?
It happened. You watched
Baby
it
wanders
happen.
away from mom and dad. If it can't survive, fuck it.
Hey, listen, that is
Shits get
right
picked
on
off all the
midnight.
time.
That's where we'll call it. Some interesting things may be coming, but Rylal just witnessed that. So that's an interesting spot to end.
The real question.
That's an ending.
That is an ending. That is a dark ending. But hey, listen,
is.
the players dictate the story.
Keep
If
in mind,
Rylal
Rylal
did not intervene, he just watched a baby merfolk be murdered by two frog-like things. And hey, that is things.
Hey, to be fair, he's probably
Circle of
seen
life.
quite a few drow babies also murdered in
That
front of
is
his
a
eyes.
circle of life. That's a hardcore circle of life. And hey, that's
Circle
the
of
one
life.
that we rolled. So we just bypassed an encounter, and that's okay. That is okay.
Well, I kind of like it though.
That is
Like,
yeah.
it's like we've been cutting up and fucking being all nice and it's a good little reminder.
Reality check,
Yep.
bitch.
Hey, you could die at any
you-
moment.
Rylal reminds the party.
like in the ending, is you kind of watch them kill the baby merfolk and then begin to eat it. The pearl would float to the surface, and perhaps you do get that. So that's cool.
No wonder you have nightmares, man.
Yeah. You
I'm watching
decided
babies
not to
get
intervene.
murdered daily.
You decided not to intervene, so that is okay.
He's like,
hey,
I'm gonna go
that
meditate
shit
on that
happened.
shit.
I've got
That-
bad tail this shit.
That shit done happened.
That's a
Hey,
very
listen.
Rylal response.
It could have
though.
been a very different ending, depending on how he reacted. But that is where we will go, and we will bypass that.
That's fine.
And I will recall the next session that maybe Rylal did you grab the pearl and walk away and continue your route, or did you just leave it? That'll be the last piece. Did you grab the pearl as the baby was being eaten by two frog people, or did you just let it stay?
Oh,
It's
you're
up to
gonna
you.
Roll to see.
It's gonna be kind of a big deal whether or not you grab this.
It literally almost is one of those things, though. Like,
Yeah.
It's a
Is it-
choose
is
your
it-
own adventure. Hey,
What kind of check do you want me to roll for?
I don't want any roll. I want you to tell me. But if you want to roll it, roll die 20.
like it's almost
See what
if,
happens. If you want it to be up to the dice, then roll it.
yeah.
No. Leave my own decision. Describe this pearl to me again.
Say it again.
Describe
the
it.
pearl to me again.
Describe the who?
The
Pearl.
The pearl?
The thing
No,
that floated to the top.
it literally looks like a blue phosphorescent pearl out of a giant clam.
Does it?
And the baby was kind of playing with it and singing, and you were like, oh, I can hear the singing. And then you watched as two frog-like humanoids murdered said baby and began to tear it apart and eat it.
They didn't go for the pearl at all.
No. They just seemed very interested in killing the child and eating it.
They're hungry.
I am not of this world. I am curious, so I will grab the pearl.
Grabs the pearl. So as we end tonight's session, as the baby has been sacrificed to the frogs. No, it didn't make that noise as it died. Wow, that's fucked.
Yeah, please don't make the
Probably
noise.
didn't make
I'm
any
not
noise at
gonna.
all. It's underwater, you know.
As we
Little-
end tonight's session, Rylal grabs the pearl, and then we fast forward to the morning as you guys begin to head out on the road toward the Twilight Citadel. and we'll talk about next session what it is that Rylal found in the middle of the night, which is super fun. Hey, that's fine. You guys passed an encounter.
We're all gonna wake up. Rylal making omelets. We're like, man, we didn't bring any eggs. So, yeah,
Merfolk omelets?
I got some. Oh, sweet,
Other
cool.
merfolk bits and
Oh,
pieces.
that's dark. That's dark as fuck, bro. Hey, that's okay.